but I wanted to do hood rat stuff for my friend.
Hanging from a thread till you dead, cause your partner put a price on your head. Cause your chick was laying up in his bed, she getting details, spilling every word that you said. She working retail, thirsty bitch just trying to get ahead. If history tell us anything, y'all both end up dead. It's just a street tale, a fable, some shit someone said. Sit at the table and hope there's more to offer than bread. Pulled out the cradle, first steps you getting chased by a fed. No head starts, just body parts and lead sparks. Old religion, brand new hate and weak hearts. Oligarchs, krakens, dragons, you see sharks. Imagine you could manage to maneuver the deep parts. You a savage, you can have it, just show all your teeth sharp. If you could grab it, you could stab it, just aim for the bleeding heart. The ones that show compassion, a soldier that seeks art. Does the artist that wage war take over or take part? Taking a knee, thinking no one faithful is me. I'm good people in bad lands, no evil live within me. I mind mine, I'll survive, find this land's for the free. If I'm mistaken, I'm forsaken, no one rescuing me. Residual effects, stray bullets through familiar necks. For any number of infractions that I deem disrespect. Your beliefs, you deserve better, but we both in the shit. You just haven't come to grips with it yet. Fight or flight, and they ain't really nowhere to go. If your back is against the wall and you ain't throwing no blows, you gon' crumble in the rubble, become blood in the snow. If you a victim, they collect them, grab the body and go. Dig them and ditch them, total disregard for the soul. Gas them and lit them, watch the flesh burn in the glow. Where we live and catch a shivering, it's a hell you don't know. Your best hope is that your dying ain't slow, or your dying's a show. Where we at, it's every man for his own. A bloody backdrop, where killers just zone and slice flesh to the bone. Masked and gloved up front of your home. A flash of gun, but the side of your dome. Fresh blood from a stone, dents in your sense. Kick your fucking ball through the fence, dare you to say something. No sense in sitting around in suspense. Find out what's next, open your fucking mouth, disrespect. See the extent of how my life is intense. She beautiful and oppressed in a permanent summer dress. She a servant and still she blessed. Children cradled against her breast, whispering prayers, wishing their souls the best, knowing that they forgotten, not forgetting they're blessed. The bloodiest red lights, just piles of dead life. Something must be broken, the glyphs wasn't read right. You think them Bible papers will shed light? Yeah, right. Burn after reading, tell the preacher I'm leaving. What is poppin', people? Welcome back to Shy Ill Reacts. I am your host, Shy Ill, and we are back in the building. Salute to y'all. Million. Thank y'all for joining me this lovely Monday night. Hope everybody got after that money today, and we on our way to abundance. All right, I will holla at y'all on the camera in 1 second. Let me get this figured out. Bow. Boom. Cut that off. Salutes. What is poppin', people? Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad to have you. Salutes. Hope everybody got after that money, got the week started off to something good, getting after that bolsa. Not the bolsita, like the big bag. We're not talking about a little bag. You want a big bag, all right, this time around. Salutes. All right? Happy Monday, everyone. It's good to be back. Had a great weekend away with the family. So salutes to them. Salutes to Old Soul, Sue Soul, Little Baby Soul, and Medium Soul. Salutes to them. Great weekend. I took y'all with me for a ride on Friday night. You know what I'm saying? An unexpected ride on Friday night. That was a good time. Salutes. Just clowning with some old friends. If you haven't caught that, make sure you catch it, because by morning it'll be in the members only videos, all right? Salutes. I appreciate y'all. Salutes to the usual suspects in the building. Salutes to the fact that it used to be very rare that you'd see one lady around here, let alone the ladies took over. All the woman usual suspects is in the building before the rest of you dudes sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So it's going down around here. Salutes to them. All right, shout out Shannon Zoraida and Deb Heiser. All right, them three was up in here early. All right, shout out Deb. Deb got big news. She is now officially a certified RN anesthetist. Salutes to you, Deb. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you always helping us out in the chat with your insight. And congratulations, man. Congratulations. All right, salutes. Congratulations are due. You put in the work, all right? Boom. Let's see. Shout out my brother Oso in the building. Shout out Pure Art. Young Jizzle. Salutes. Let's see. Shout out Velez. Salutes Zoraida. All right, I think we good. Right? We're gonna cover a couple things. Today. We're here for a good time, not a long time. I want to talk about a couple stories that are on Borderland Beat and Cartel Insider. I want to talk about another video that I caught wind of about a politician that got duped by the DEA, thinking he was going to be the man for the Maísa. So I want to check that out. And shit, man. Again, a good time, not a long time. Long weekend of combat sports this weekend. What's crazy is that, you know, the weekend as far as combat sports, or as far as, no, let me not do that. Let me not put it on combat sports. Because I'm sure mixed martial arts had a great card this weekend, and I'm sure they had some great finishes. We're going to put it on boxing. All right? We're going to lay it all the way on boxing. And just say boxing didn't deliver this weekend. 4 main events this weekend. Shit, 5 if you consider the stuff from yesterday. All right? 4, but we'll just call it 4. 4 main events this weekend. And not another one of them motherfuckers delivered. All right? But these are conversations that I think we probably should be having. I want to talk to all of the combat sports enthusiasts that are in my chat. Oso, Fernando, Velez. If you guys will be down, I'll start doing those Monday recaps, and I can start tonight over on the Head Kicks channel. And I can put out the link, and y'all can give y'all hot takes right on the air, and we can talk about boxing. And how the theme music for this weekend's boxing was. That's what the hell it was. Whatever music you put on, something that's sped up to the high heavens, because boxing left something to be desired this weekend, all right? And I like to have those conversations over at the Head Kicks channel, but I like to have those conversations with y'all on the panel. I'll put out the link. Boom, we talk about it on the screen. Velez, Fernando, Oso, y'all let me know if we out of here in the next hour and a half. Boom, shout out Grand Loot. NUA versus, that's the 5th main event. And I left it off. That's why I said 4. NUA versus Cardenas saved the weekend. No shit, boy. And I missed the MMA card. I should have watched the MMA card. I'm sure that, Bo Nickel got knocked out with a knee to the body. That's all I need to know. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need to know. For that matter, Sunday's card saved us from a clear dub. Yo, I don't know, man. Them 4 might outweigh that shit, but we'll say Friday and Saturday were a bust, right? We'll say Friday and Saturday were a bust. But again, I love to cover this weekend's fight. I don't want to cover it tomorrow. I don't want to cover it next weekend. If 4 or 5 of us want to go over there after this live stream and go over the Head Kicks and do a live stream over there and quickly break down the fights and listen to people's takes on there, and I'll also pull up the videos and stuff like that, we can do that. Because for such a weekend that left so much to be desired, there's so much to talk about. Ain't that crazy? For so much nothing that happened, it's so much to talk about, all right? So, boom, that's where we at with that. All right, again, salute to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'm lit up. I'm making moves. I have a lot of changes and ideas in mind that are going to be taking place throughout the next couple of weeks on the channel. Maybe there won't be, maybe the live streams here will be dedicated to one thing. Maybe the live streams there will be dedicated to something else on these other channels. Also, with the content that we put out here, current affairs is not enough. I'm in here to look for the monster, so I'm gonna be doing some more videos that I do not extract from a live stream. I'll be doing videos that I sat here on my own by myself quietly and made, and then I'll be bringing it to you. We'll do premieres for stuff like that. So I'm just keeping y'all abreast of that. You might get an update in the community section that this is not happening today, or this is happening today instead of this day because of this, that, and the other. Things are moving and things are happening. I got a lot of things to do. I want to add a specific look to the screen for every channel. There's a lot of things I want to do. So, and I'm gonna get them done. So we're moving faster on here. Again, we are about 75 subscriptions. 75 subscriptions away from our 10,000 goal, our 10K goal. Matter of fact, let me fix this up here. Give me one sec. And after 10K, we're on our way straight to 100K, man. Straight to 100K. Everybody says, oh, positive reinforcement. You got to visualize it. Shy, cool. I'm visualizing fuck 50,000. We're trying to get straight to 100K. That's my visualization. All right, everybody want me to be positive? There's my positivity. Fuck it. We skipping the 50,000 and getting straight to 100,000. That's my positivity right there. Big glass of water, big hand. Papa, you know what I mean? You got to relax, Pure Art. Shout out Grand Loop for the subscription. Appreciate you. You seem to be a fight fan. Make sure you sub up to our fight channel. Well, we will be taking the fight conversation over there. Here's the link to that channel. It's called Head Kicks Shy. And I want to start doing my combat. Because, again, after a night like tonight, let me tell you something. For me and Oso on our trip, for the fights being such a disappointment, they were the biggest laugh of the weekend. There was jokes on jokes on jokes about that all week. It was dancing jokes all over all weekend. Shout out Velez. Looking forward to that 24-hour stream soon. 24-hour stream comes with 100,000
Grand Loot just subscribed subs. On YouTube.
Shout out Grand Loot. 300,000 spins. Hold on, let's get that for Grand Loot. Salutes. Shout out Grand Loot. 100,000 subs, we'll do a 24-hour stream. Do not listen to Velez and JP when they say shit like we doing 24-hour stream for the 10K sub. That shit ain't happening. Pure Art is on the powders. The powders. Shout out Guillermo Paca on the check-in. Salutes. Shout out Primo. Free Cain Velasquez, indeed. Also said trash. Shit was trash. Congratulations, Deb. Didn't see that. Congratulations. Salutes. So, yeah, that's what I'm on. With that said, we going to start getting into it. Smoke them if you got them. Drink them if you got them. If you're sober, here's a hug from me to you. To everybody that's out there on the road, whether you're traveling back home from a vacay with the family or on your way to one. To all our truck drivers and Uber drivers and so on and so forth. Salutes to y'all. Safe travels. Keep your head on a swivel and make your move first. All right? Let's get it. First story of the day. Chop it if you got it. First story of the day. Let's see. Maybe I'll go with the video so I can smoke a square. Let's see this. No, because I got to interpret this, so it doesn't matter. I mean, smoke this bowl. Salutes, Grand Loop. Salutes. I'll most definitely not be sober tonight into tomorrow. Enjoy. Buen provecho, all right? By the end of the night, this is how we want to hear you, Deb.
Tango el gato los pantalones.
That's it. We need you wilding out. You need to be in your house screaming.
This is Sparta!
That type of shit. You know what I mean? Just keep it cool. Keep it cool. All right. Let's get it. Okay, let's start here, man. Let's start with the Utah family. What? A Utah family.
You don't want no problems.
All right, we put out our good energy to JP. Hopefully he pop up at some point in this. Let's get it. That's my marker. We going on with the show.
You don't want no problems.
Let's do this. Utah family charged for 300
million
stolen Pemex crude oil smuggling scheme with the Cjng. All right? Wait a minute. What's happening? Now, there's a story that I haven't even been able to edit. I'm so backed up on things to put out. There's a story that I haven't been able to edit that is probably just propaganda or probably just public relations and keeping the name out there. That who knows what's real and what's not. But we read a story recently of Cjng making their presence known in Nigeria or something like that, right? Well, now it seems they're connected to Utah as well, to white families in Utah. So we're going to see what that's all about, all right?
You don't want no problems.
Shout out Fernando. How long have we been on? We just started our first topic, but we were talking about getting this live stream done and running over to Head Kick Shy, dropping the link for the StreamYard, and letting everybody give their hot take on the weekend's fights. You, Velez, you guys don't have to take the link and none of that shit, but if y'all were down to go over there and do that, and anybody that does want to take the link, 298, you know what I'm saying? I saw 298 was in here earlier. We'll do that shit soon. Boom, just catching you up. But now we're on the first story. Let's get it. So all I needed to hear was Utah. There it is. I saw that shit, bro. I wonder if they were forced to work for CJNG or greed got them. Good question. I don't know nothing about it. I'm sure you people that peep the story know more about it than me. You know what I mean? All right? Let's see. Let's get it. 300 million stolen Pemex crude oil. And they're like, America. Utah family who owns a large oil importation company in Texas is making headlines after being arrested and indicted on federal charges in connection with a scheme to smuggle crude oil from Mexico into the United States. You know what I mean? James Lyle Jensen and his wife Kelly were booked into the Salt Lake County Jail after authorities executed an arrest warrant at their $9.1 million mansion. The couple is accused of conspiring to smuggle 2,881 different shipments of crude oil from Mexico. 2 of their sons were arrested as well. That's it. That's all that is. That's The Wire. Y'all ever seen the show The Wire where they disappeared a container on the shipping yard? Hit the like button, y'all. According to the indictment, the Jensen family began laundering money and illegally importing crude oil in May 2022. But accusations made by Pemex in 2011 lawsuit showed James Jensen had been involved in the illegal oil smuggling from Mexican cartels for well over a decade. Authorities allege that more than $47 million was transferred from businesses operated by James and Kelly Jensen to Mexican businesses from 2022 until 2025. That's a lot of money, man. That's a lot of oil. A commodity is a commodity. Something to flip is something to flip. Whether it's powder that you put in your nose, or oil that you run your cars on. You know what I mean? Oh man, I haven't put it up there. I gotta put up the straight to jail. The straight to jail joint, straight to Seaside. Don't need to hear no more. Greed got him. They'll spend more cleaning up all the bird shit than the construction. Oh, you talking about Alcatraz? Yeah, I miss it. A logistical move like that doesn't occur unless both sides are on the same page. As far as what? Disappearing a big-ass container freight of oil or some shit? I bet any money, especially with our political times, that they'll say they were forced. Trump will run with it and say Americans are not being shaken down. Yeah, no, that's quite the possibility. Listen, the world is propaganda at this point, man. Everything is propaganda. They playing with 47 million. They playing with oil. These rich families. Look at that crib right there. But their illegal don't count. Nobody want them deported. Nobody want them thrown on the chopping block. They're all good. Those are just capitalists. You know what I mean? That's it. Hit the like button, y'all. A person close to the situation who requested anonymity due to the cartel involvement told KSL5 TV that the U.S. Marshals Violent Fugitive Apprehension Team showed up at the Jensen's 33,000 square foot mansion in Sandy, Utah with a battering ram. 33,000 square feet, bro. Shit. First of all, I don't want a house that big. And if I got a house that big, all my shit is there. You know what I mean? My production house, my studio, my gym, all of that shit, right? I'm never leaving, is my point. The mothership is the mothership. That's it. Court documents filed in U.S. District Court in Utah claim that James and Kelly Jensen, along with their 2 sons, Max and Zachary, conspired to launder proceeds from the sale of illegally imported crude oil on behalf of Mexican criminal organizations. Yeah, they easily could say, yo, these fools was pressing, rich oil families and shit. You know what I mean? Well, this terrorist watch list is, we're not doing enough yet. We gotta send these guys to space and put them in a capsule and shit. Put them in a mirror like in Superman and send their ass to space or something. Records indicate that payments for the oil were funneled to businesses in Mexico believed to be controlled by drug cartels, and that James Jensen was aware of these connections. James. Te metiste, James. Lo cagaste.
Tranquila con la pena.
Cagó el gallo.
James lo
Cállate,
cagó.
hipopuerca.
Ya lo cagó, James. Ya lo cagó, James. Stolen Pemex oil smuggling and fraud. The Jensen family owns and operates Arroyo Terminals, a crude oil trading company in Rio Hondo, Texas, a small community about 30 miles north of the U.S.-Mexico border. Federal agents raided their business, Arroyo Terminals, last week, and 2 days later, the company's website was taken offline and placed under government control. Yep, they could easily play the victim. We were terrified and scared for our lives. I want to try to hear that shit. Oh, let me throw the TTS in the link too. By the way, right? I'm a little rusty right here.
You don't want no problems.
There it is. Let's get it. Arroyo Terminals purchased about 7.7 acres near Rio Hondo in 2016, according to a deed filed with the Cameron County Clerk's Office. Right? Bringing crude oil and diamonds. The company specializes in domestic and cross-border acquisitions of various blends of crude oil. According to the Arroyo Terminals website, Arroyo Terminals stored the crude oil in large tanks near the Arroyo, Colorado. Near the Arroyo, Colorado? Come on, man. Every few weeks, barges would transport the crude oil to buyers. From about May 2022 to 2025, James Lyle Jensen purchased nearly 2,900 shipments of crude oil that had fraudulent customs paperwork. Papa, you got to go straight to jail, straight to Seaside. Why the Utah man ain't going to Seaside, huh? Because he don't got no Photoshop tattoos on his body? He can't go to the El Salvadorian prison? Do I have to put take an emoji and Photoshop an emoji onto him or something for them to take him to a Seaside prison? What are we talking about? The conspirators that they were working with Mexican criminal organizations in order to get the oil to the Jensens, Attorney Hess said. Yeah, so that's it. Cjng does not sound like they give a shit. Like, they don't sound like a rug cartel. They sound like a we'll do whatever the fuck that pays cartel. You know what I'm saying? Whatever we could get our hands on that pays cartel, that's what they sound like to me. I don't know. What do I know? That's what they sound like to me, though. That's what they sound like to me. Should get it.
You don't want no problems.
Shout out Ed the Hip Hop Guru on the check-in. Salute, hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Domestic terrorism, in my eyes, no? It's not domestic terrorism? How about Walgreens? I think Walgreens too, dog. I think Walgreens too. You know what I mean? I think there's a whole lot of, seems about white situations going on for certain people that don't seem to be domestic terrorists. This is terrorism. This is fuel, right? Without fuel, what? What happens to us? You know what I mean? Nah, I didn't see it, Shannon. Salutes. I'll see it, though. When I find it, I'll put it in the Discord. Yeah, this seems like domestic terrorism. The fraudulent paperwork claimed the crude oil was actually waste of lube oils, right? Well, that's where y'all got us fucked up. We don't waste lube. We're Americans. There's always some kind of fucking going on.
No, 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 no.
Oh, goddamn. Picking and choosing. Picking and choosing depending on the color. That's what's going on over here, man. That's what's going on over here. But yeah, we definitely not wasting no lube oils in this country. The fraudulent paperwork claimed the crude oil was actually waste of lube oils and petroleum distillates, according to the indictment. The indictment remained sealed until April 23 when the government raided the Royal Terminals in Rio Hondo, Texas. During the raid, agents placed workers in handcuffs and questioned them about the business, according to 3 employees who spoke with CBS 4 News on the condition of anonymity. I mean, hold on. How many, under anonymity, how many workers was there? Like, you just know somebody you work with, of course, so that just narrows it down. But this is crazy, dog. This is crazy. This is Fast and the Furious. This is Stranger Than Fiction shit, you know? The shit that we hear about that we say, that's bullshit. That shit can't be real. That should be real as a motherfucker, man. One employee said the FBI asked whether the crude oil was stolen. Shit. We don't know about that, the employee said. We're just in charge of unloading the trucks and loading the barges. That's it. All they can tell you is what they've seen move different than anything else they've done on that job. Does that make sense? They're compartmentalized. You're at the end line. You're there to hold this in this container. That's your job. Minding your business, that's your job. But if you notice, it's a different company that does this now, or more guys than usual with the shipment, or maybe nothing changed. But those are the only things you're looking for, and you don't even know you're looking for that because you have no idea that this is stolen oil. So these guys, police barking up the wrong tree. Go ask the people that dude smoke cigars with. You know what I mean? Go ask the people that dude smoke cigars with. That what's his face? Jensen. Leo Jensen. Go ask whoever he smokes cigar with. That motherfucker knows more than these workers do in this place. You know what I mean?
You don't want no problems.
Shout out Ralphie Ralph on the check-in. Shout out my brother. Salutes to you, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. But yeah, these employees don't know what the hell's going on. He said, we don't know about that. The employee said, we're just in charge of unloading the trucks and loading the barges. Another employee agreed. That's their job. When it comes to the aspect of knowing where this oil is coming from, or what company, or what part of Mexico, or anything like that, we were always out of the loop. That's it. They're there to turn on the power, turn it off. That's their job. Look at Pemex. This wasn't the first time James Lale Jensen had been accused of buying stolen petroleum products. Oh, man, this guy, him and his comb over have been doing this shit for years. In a 2011 lawsuit, Pemex claimed Jensen and 2 corporations he controlled, Big Star Gathering and St. James Oil, had purchased stolen natural gas condensate. Also included in the lawsuit were oil companies such as ConocoPhillips and Shell. This is filthy. Oh no, we just showed their house. Yeah, we just showed their house. I'm going to show it again on the way back up. James Lale, look at him. He looks like a whale. He looks like, my comb over is huge. It's huge. At times, Jensen would travel to Mexico to arrange purchases from the cartels who had stolen the condensate, according to the 2011 Pemex lawsuit. According to the suit, Big Star Superior Crude and F&M Transportation knowingly participated in the scheme to import and market the stolen condensate in the United States. According to the complaint, the other defendants appear to have been innocent and dealt in the condensate only after it was laundered. They just need to send these people straight to CSOC, all right? Straight to jail. Talking, straight to jail. Domestic terrorism, straight to jail. selling and buying stolen ass oil, straight to jail. That shit sounds like domestic terrorism for all we concerned. Jensen denied any wrongdoing, but he admitted Big Star had business dealings with an oil company executive who sold the stolen natural gas condensate. All the transactions happened before the oil company executive pleaded guilty, according to an affidavit filed in the lawsuit. Pemex accuses the company of illegal possession and use of Mexican sovereign property, conversion, unjust enrichment, fraud, breach of warranty, and breach of contract. Attorneys for Jensen's company, St. James Oil, urged the judge to dismiss the case. Of course, Your Honor, there's nothing to see here, Your Honor. This is just business as usual in a capitalistic society, Your Honor. Your Honor, we don't even have to go through this. Have you seen the size of my house? I'll just start storing the oil at my house. Don't worry about it. We got this. Buying stolen fuel is just bonkers. 300 million of it.
Millions!
300 million of it, but this is the type of shit that we'll look around and say, hey, nah, that's not real. That's too much. That can't be possible. It can't be possible. Well, guess what? It's possible, man. It's definitely possible. All right, let's get it. Let's see what we got going on here. Yeah, they want him to dismiss that shit. Your Honor, there's nothing to see here. St. James' business reputation and creditworthiness suffer every day that it continues to be named in a lawsuit alleging participation in a drug cartel-related conspiracy, according to a motion filed in the case. After 2 years of litigation, Pemex dropped the case against Jensen in 2013. What? Oh, that's the original case. Okay. Because they said he had done this before. That's crazy. Bartell money laundering links. Maxwell Sterling Jensen, that's his son. That's Leo's son, who co-owns the Royal Terminals with his father since May 2020. And Zachary Golden Jensen. Look at how he named his children. Golden. Sterling. No mames, pendejo.
No mames, wait.
That guy was willing to sell them children for 30 pieces of gold, all right? He was willing to sell his soul for a little oil, all right? There's no games being played over here. That dude let you know about what was his motivation from, just the names of his children. Sterling and Golden. Couple of Maurixes. Salutes. Sounds like George Bush on that rocket 2001. In fact, absolutely. Yeah, definitely not in danger. Definitely did that shit on his own. Walgreens definitely is also a domestic terrorist. It's crazy. I can't get away with shit, boy. They get away with everything, huh? It's crazy. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Maxwell Sterling and Zachary Golden, who handled marketing and business development for the company, pleaded not guilty Tuesday afternoon. All right. They're accused of participating in a conspiracy to buy stolen crude oil from businesses affiliated with Mexican drug cartels and launder millions in dirty money. Federal prosecutors allege the family violated the U.S. Tariff Act, allowing the Jensen family to reap huge profits off of a normally highly regulated and highly limited import industry via loads of crude oil stolen from Pemex, the nationalized oil company owned by the Mexican federal government. This shit is crazy. The crude oil that was making its way to the United States was by necessity having to be stolen from Pemex, mislabeled, and then delivered into the United States labeled as waste oil. Assistant U.S. Attorney Michael Eugene Hess explained during a detention hearing. Hess further alleged that the family worked with Mexican organized crime to carry out the scheme. According to the assistant U.S. attorney Laura Garcia, Maxwell worked closely with Bartel-affiliated businesses, Garcia said, and developed connections in Mexico. Come on, man. You guys weren't just in Utah chilling and the shit went down. Nah. Y'all been running around getting into shit. So, I don't know how forced or how any of that you were, but sound like a bunch of bullshit to me. Cause y'all all up in Mexico, y'all making friends and shit. And again, we know that there's no dark corner the Cjng ain't gonna crawl up into. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so, yo. He also frequently traveled to the Bahamas, where the Jensen family owns a home, Garcia said. It maintains bank accounts. Guerra, the attorney who represents Maxwell, said his client is a hardworking father of 5. Hardworking, man. You know, little Sterling. You know, Sterling and Golden Jensen, they very hardworking young men. I mean, very hardworking young men. The court is concerned. Judge Tortilla, that's what I'm gonna call her. There's no way you can have the name Tortilla and I can't call you Tortilla. That's just fucked up, all right? This is Judge Tortilla said about inconsistent information Maxwell provided about his travel to the Bahamas and his use of MJ, and ordered him held without bond. Damn, see, they used his blood against him. The 4th charge on the indictment of conspiracy to spend laundered money targets Kelly. It always gets back to the wife when it comes to money. God damn. The final charge of spending laundered money proceeds or laundered proceeds. No, let me go back. The 4th charge on the indictment of conspiracy to spend laundered money targets Kelly, most notably a cashier's check exceeding $10,000 to low book sales in automotive dealership. The final charge of spending laundered proceeds specifically cites James for allegedly buying a 2024 GMC Sierra Denali pickup truck registered to the company Arroyo Terminals. All right. This is all the property subject to forfeiture. Among the assets that could be forfeited. Among the assets subject to seizure are money deposited in accounts at Wells Fargo and Bank of America, as well as several boats. Additionally, the properties listed include a 2023 Corvette Stingray, a 2023 Mercedes-Benz, a GMC pickup truck, and 2 semi-trucks. Listen, if I ever get rich, I'm not just blowing money everywhere. I'm spending them millions at the police auction, man. Can I get that yacht for $36.99, please? Thank you. Appreciate it. Right. Additionally, the property listed included a 2023 Corvette Stingray, 2023 Mercedes-Benz, a GMC pickup truck, 2 semi-trucks. Also mentioned is a property at 21076 North Reynolds Highway where Arroyo Terminal is located. Also listed is their multi-million dollar mansion in Sandy, Utah. So listen, y'all, the mansion could be gone, bro. We seen it. We synced it. It's pretty crazy. Look at it right there. All right? All that shit is on the table, on the chopping block. Run that shit. All right? Ours. Mine. Let's see. They were unwilling to come out, Assistant U.S. Attorney Michael Hess said during a hearing on April 24th, referring to the Utah raid in which U.S. Marshals arrested James Lale. I like saying that stupid fuck's name. Lale. Who co-owned the Royal Terminals, and his wife Kelly Ann Jensen. That forced the Marshal Service to break down the door, right? And that ain't no regular door, y'all. That door is a pricey door right there, you know what I mean? Mr. Jensen and Mrs. Jensen's story about that is very different, said Attorney John Huber of Salt Lake City, who represents James Jensen. James agreed to open the door, Huber said, but the Marshal Service broke it down anyway. If convicted, the family would be required to forfeit approximately $300 million in assets, including bank accounts in their Texas-based company, and all face up to 20 years in prison. But why they ain't on the plane right now and on their way to Seaside? Jail, straight to jail. The company owns and operates its own fleet of 30,000 barrel barges, which gives us unique capabilities to transport and market our crude oil product, according to the Arroyo Terminal website. Look at this. America, fuck yeah. That's it right here. Look at this dorks. But why they don't go to jail? They gotta go to jail. I'd go to jail, wouldn't I? Wouldn't you go to jail? We'd all go to jail. Right? We'd all go to jail. Why they ain't going to jail? Sounds like a setup. Shit. Shout out to Pooh on the check-in.
You don't want no problems.
An Instagram photo showed the Jensen's purchasing of the 2024 GMC Sierra Denali Ultimate that is listed as being bought using funds derived by smuggling. You, buddy, you get to keep your your cut, bro. You know what I mean? You get to keep your cut. Agents took documents from the Arroyo Terminals building, according to a third employee, and requested passwords for the computers. When I went into the office to use the bathroom, I did hear the FBI high five and say, "We got him. We got him." The Jensen sons were also arrested, including Zachary Golden. All right, I just wonder if this could be Zachary Golden Jensen, huh? You know, I wonder. I wonder. He looked like them gold bitches in the Avengers, them gold bitches that made oh, what the fuck? I can't believe this character's name. I'm losing this character's name. Damn. But yeah, they create him. He looks like a Marvel douchebag. That's Golden, y'all. Hardworking guy right there. Car salesman should definitely be arrested for the hair, bro. But he's getting his money, so salutes to him. All right? Hopefully he keeps his commission on that job right there. Shout out Shannon. I'm a frugal girl. Tiny home all the way. Salutes. Shout out Raven on the check-in. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming through. Dumbass should have dressed in a white shirt with a black tie and rode a bike into the sunset. Would have watched the raid for the neighbor's house with a Bible in his hands. Nah, just a couple of dorks with Cjng ties. You know what I mean? There you go. That's your boy Golden right there. Last name Retriever. Look at him. Don't he look? You know, Snoop Dogg looked like the Doberman picture. You know, he morphed into in the video. This guy right here, Golden Retriever. But you know, he went to you know, he's in a fraternity with the judge's son and this, that, and the other. Next thing you know, nobody serves no time. Domestic terrorism turned everybody like this. Listen, the United States government is LeBron James, right? And this is how they look at terrorism. They cover their eyes and they look through the crack of their fingers. But I don't know why these people ain't on a plane on their way to El Salvador. They seem like the worst of the worst. Along with Jensen, the grand jury indicted his wife and two of his sons, Sterling, and Zachary, Golden, Mamabichos. They are looking forward to receiving the discovery and asserting their innocence in court, said attorney Robert Luis Guerra of Brownsville, who represents Maxwell. Huber asked the judge to release James while he awaits trial. They're active in their church. Yo, man. There's no bigger shield than God and Jesus, boy. And some people be like, yep, that's right. But These evildoers, boy, they know where to hide. They know where to hide. Excuse me. They're active in their church. They're active in their community. They come from a stalwart Utah family. Yeah, that does business with the Bartels. Let's keep it thorough. Listen, Mexico got a lot of Utah ties. All right, don't get it twisted. Let's not forget about the Mormons in Mexico. Let's not forget about the Mormons in Mexico. He reminds me of Kato Kalin, OJ's housemate. He does look like a goofy ass Kato Kalin. He looked like Kato Kalin's love child and shit. They're active in their church. They're active in their community. They come from a stalwart Utah family. Huber says his in-laws have served in public service for decades, and they don't want to throw that all out. And they don't want to throw that all out of the window. Kelly Jensen's father, Gordon Walker, served in the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development during President Ronald Reagan's administration. Her mother, Carlene Walker, served in the United States Senate. James Jensen graduated from BYU Brigham Young University. Although prosecutors requested that James Jensen be held without bail due to flight risk, who guessed it?
No mommy's wait.
He was released from jail on April 25th under GPS monitoring. Similarly, Kelly Jensen was also released from federal custody under conditions that included surrendering her passport. Gran cosa. It's crazy, boy. Tortilla set bond for Zachary at $100,000 and ordered him to remain at home in Utah and submit to GPS monitoring. Tortilla ordered Maxwell held without bond. Huh? Sterling, you think Sterling got some violence on his shit? Huh? You think he got some violence on his shit or something? Got him kept without bond? Why did Sterling have to stay? Lael and Golden and Kelly are all home. Why did Sterling have to stay, huh? Well, people, just more proof, man, that this is all one big circle jerk, right? Laws and democracies and democracy's a mockery, all of that shit. Because, see them right there? They're at the crib just like that. Bumping ankle monitors. Right? But, to me, more than the other Bartels, and I know the other Bartels had their hands in a bunch of shit, but it just seems like CJNG's like, yeah, bro, whatever we can get you. Or, they just putting the name together with the people, or these domestic terrorists are getting away with it. You know? 300 million, turn it in. Stealing oil, not even the oil, nothing safe. All right, y'all, so there's that. Any questions, comments, concerns with this story? All right, shout out Raven, not Kato Wolverine looking at. You know what I mean? Salutes. That is crazy. And that's it, buddy. Just they got the big money. Figure out who's looking, who's watching. I mean, definitely greedy because you've already had an issue with stolen oil. And he's going to have another one. Why? Because they're not sending him to CSOP. Now, if I Photoshop like a peach emoji on his cheek like a teardrop, or like a banana across his fucking forehead, is that symbolism that symbolizes he should be sent to a CSOP prison in El Salvador? Y'all tell me. You know what I mean? Because shit, this guy, He's at the crib right now, laying in his cush ass house until, the time comes where he got to turn that shit over and it's not his no more. All right? Honey's up in the chat for y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. I missed y'all. Let's get it. Bow, 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 bow. All right. So there it is for that one. There it is for that one. Boom, let me shut this one. See what we got over here. Everybody, RIP OJ. All right. RIP free OJ still. A little late. Let's see. They got another guy here, another Cjng operator that's been granted house arrest. Yeah, his name is Jensen. So much crazy shit going on in Jalisco. Right now he's like, fuck me running, honey. This is wild. The wife is like, you know what really grinds my gears? We just had the front gate put in. Yeah, no, that shit's gone. They're going to have to move to a, instead of a $9 million joint, they're going to have to move to like a $7 million joint. And we know that's the worst as far as they're concerned. They don't want no parts of that shit right there. That's just the downgrade of all downgrades as far as they're concerned. Crazy talk, bro. This is America. I'm going to see this real quick because this is crazy. But it's not far from what we got going on here, all right? Let's get into this one real quick. Mexican federal judge candidate in Durango served 5 years in U.S. federal prison for trafficking METHOD. What? What's going on here? I mean, what's this guy doing? He wants to be a judge in Mexico. Leopoldo Javier Chavez Vargas, candidate for district judge for Durango, has been accused of allegedly having been imprisoned in the United States for crimes related to drug trafficking for over 5 years. According to U.S. court documents cited by journalist Miguel Alfonso Mesa, the now candidate was detained on November 13, 2015 at the Lincoln Juarez International Bridge while traveling on a passenger bus. During an inspection, authorities discovered a fire extinguisher hidden under his seat, inside which was a suspicious package of methamphetamine, according to the documents. He was charged with 3 federal counts: conspiracy to import methamphetamine, importation of methamphetamine, and possession with intent to distribute. In his statement, Chavez Vargas said he didn't know the contents of the cylinder inside the fire extinguisher, which he was transporting with the intention of taking to Dallas, Texas. Come on, man. I didn't know. Joe no sabo, man. Shout out, Primo. The FBI told the car salesman, "Sir, you almost came with us too for that hair." Salutes. Hit the like button, y'all. I agree with Zoraida. Let's get it.
You don't want no problems.
His name appears in the official registry of the United States Bureau of Prisons under the number 997573779. Information verified by this outlet. According to the BOP, Chavez Vargas was released on June 7, 2021. This fool just got out of jail. You just got out of jail, bro. You just got out of jail, bro. He said, you know what? This life of crime in the U.S. isn't sounding so good. I should go be a judge in Mexico. Fuck it. Let's go. I'm on my way. You know what I mean? Gotta do what you gotta do. Nobody knows, man. De Durango tenía que ser. He just got out of jail. He served a sentence of 5 years and 7 months. It should be noted that his resume does not list any work experience prior to 2020. This guy didn't even have a job, man. You ain't got no work history, man. He is currently a legal advisor. All right? The only advice he gives is never hide your stash and a fire extinguisher under your seat. That's the only advice he gives. He is currently a legal advisor to the Nuevo Ideal City Council in Durango. His nomination to the judiciary was approved by the Legislative Branch Committee. One of his goals as a candidate is to contribute to a judicial system that inspires confidence and combats impunity. That's some funny shit. Install him out. Trump has done worse. And then some. And then some. No, si para pendejo no se estudia. No. Dumb. La Silla Rota attempted to contact Leopoldo Javier Chavez Vargas through the number 618. Damn, y'all doxing numbers and shit and other means, but received no response. Coño, man, what are you doing? Who is Leopoldo Javier Chavez Vargas? According to his profile published in the National Electoral Institute website, he seeks to become a judge to guarantee equal access to justice for all with impartiality, legality, and commitment. He got a ChatGPT quote for his campaign. He holds a law degree from the Bilingual University Institute of the State of Durango and is currently pursuing a master's degree in oral trials. He also holds a diploma in Amparo trials and is participating in a seminar on corporate protection. Since 2021, he's worked as a legal advisor. Like, he got out of jail in 2021, so you became a legal advisor on your come home and shit? You know what I mean? Shit. Since 2020 he's worked as a legal advisor in the municipality of Nuevo Ideal, where he provides legal support, contract review, and regulatory advice. He also works as a legal interpreter in the United States courts, where he translates documents and participates in judicial proceedings. Bruh, he probably got too much access to too much shit, as far as I'm concerned. In 2023, he served as a financial advisor to the Gubernatorial Debate Commission of Electoral Institute of Coahuila. Shit. From 2020 to 2023, he served as treasurer of an agricultural company with responsibilities in financial management and tax compliance. He is fluent in English, and his background includes experience in public, private, and judicial sectors. Debate on narco candidates. Mexico's first popular election for the judiciary, scheduled for June 1st, 2025, has been marked by controversy. 81 positions will be elected, including vacancies on the Supreme Court, the Electoral Tribunal, and the new Judicial Disciplinary Tribunal. The controversy arose after Senate President Geraldo Fernández Noroña warned about the nomination of at least 20 candidates with questionable backgrounds. 20 of y'all motherfuckers, damn! Including alleged ties to rug trafficking or histories as legal defenders of rug lords. According to the legislator, these profiles do not meet the probity requirement. The Senate announced that it will file challenges before the Federal Electoral Tribunal of the Judicial Branch. Fernández Noroña asserted that this is not a personal vendetta or veto, but rather a means of ensuring that those who access judicial positions are qualified. The National Electoral Institute clarified that it is not responsible for deciding on the eligibility for candidates, but rather for the Senate and the TEPJF. President Claudia Sheinbaum also asked the courts to invalidate candidates with alleged criminal ties. The civil organization's Defensorexis documented at least 13 candidates with a history of organized crime, sexual violence, or membership in political religious sects. Sects. The English language is as stupid as shit. One of the most notorious cases is that of Silvia Rocio Delgado, former lawyer for Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. No shit, one of Chapo's lawyers is running too. Various voices from international organizations to sitting judges and civil society organizations have warned about the risk of organized crime to political interests infiltrating the judicial system, which could compromise the independence of this unprecedented reform. No?
No, mommy's wake.
Has anybody heard anything about it, Rocha?
You don't want no problems.
I ain't heard nothing about it, Rocha, either. So there it is, y'all. You got all kind of kingpins, lawyers, and meth traffickers trying to become judges in Mexico. Things are, you remember the whole mentality and saying of you can't change things from the outside? Seems like the criminals already knew that. You know what I mean? Here we are, inside. Let's get it.
You don't want no problems.
Shout out Sally Correa. Hello, my little family. Salute to you, Sally. Appreciate you. Shout out Velez. There's a couple other candidates for that have priors and links to the cartels. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. He had a job. Yeah, he had a job selling method man. That's definitely his job. You need to hire him to translate. We need a translator, right? We need a translator. We got to get up with Buddy. All right. Shout out JP on the check-in. Salute Shah Il, my dude, Il Cartel members in chat. Hope you've all had a blessed and grateful maybe Monday. Please like and subscribe to the great quality content. It's free. Il Avengers in here. You mean the L Avengers? I just came up with that on the spot. That'll do it. That'll do it for me for today. When you translate, shout out Zoraida, facts. When you translate documents, you get a lot of access. That dude probably got access that he shouldn't have. He fresh out of jail on his fire extinguisher full of method man, and he's out here with redacted documents translating and shit. Shout out JP and his lies. 10K 24-hour live stream is a myth. 100K 24-hour live stream might be true. Might be. All right, but we should be reaching 10K ASAP any day soon. The quicker, the more y'all share it. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Let's see. Try to miss nothing. Pero ya mejoró. ya no le dice mocomo al mochomo. It's mocomo, man. And Colombia is spelled with a K. All right. JP came in and started some shit with that 24-hour live. Boy, that's all it is. It ain't a 24-hour live. It's a 24-hour live. Shout out to the L Avengers, all right? So I served their ass up this weekend, boy. Not only y'all, I served up everybody else over there, too. Motherfuckers was asleep, passed out, all kind of shit. All right? Me, I was first one up the next morning, ready to go, all right? Ready to go. All right. Well, there it is, y'all. Mexican federal judge candidate is a method man. Let's see. Is this one long? We've already been here an hour and 12. I do want to do a fight stream. I do want to talk about the fights. Maybe we'll do it here. I don't know. I don't want to go past today. There was one more thing I wanted to read. It's a story we've covered before, but I want to do it again. Let me refresh my drink, and we'll get to that. A lot of other things to cover. I mean, there's some things that, we took our foot off the gas because we get the basics of the story, and once it gets convoluted and the internet is lying about it, we kind of move on from there. Big U situation, still stuff coming out. Brick Baby, Loose Cannon, it's just turned into a convoluted lie of who's snitching, who's not snitching. You ask me, everybody's snitching. Shout out. Yeah, let's talk about this 10th of a... Yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, JP's supposed to be my friend. JP had accusations the other night, all right, that I spit out a 10th of his shot, or that I did a throw it behind your back move, you know what I'm saying? No, none of that happened. Now, I have video, so don't make me go enhance the video, brighten it up, you know what I'm saying? You ever hit something and you cough and it goes down the wrong side, and that's it. I had a little drip that came, just a little drip. The man saw some whole other shit and started making accusations and shit, you know what I'm saying? And I feel disrespected, all right? Bamboozled, led astray, run amok, so... I said, just motherfuckers start watching their mouth around here. Put him in a fucking bench, you might. Salute to JP. So, and I did extra shots that night, all of that. So it's like, miss me with the .10, all right? Boy, sound like the police. Eagle-eyed viewer, boy, eagle-eyed. Eye like a goddamn hawk. Cierto. Ya casi es mexicano con todo lo que tiene traducir. Listen, man, I saw a spot today, a Mexican restaurant. I had my nickname on it, right? My family nickname on it, which y'all don't need to know. And I told my nephews, you see, that's my restaurant right there. They was like, you're Mexican? I was like, hell yeah, that's my chat. Salutes. All right, we in the building. Honey's up. Let's get it. Boom. Humbly speaking, Thanos was talking to God over the weekend after. See, and that's another thing. He made it seem like it was a near-death experience. I choked. I went down the wrong pipe. You playing me, son. You really Section 8ing me right now. And what you don't understand is I'm the master of that shit, JP. So if you want to go to war, low-key, just say so, bro. Humbly speaking, not so humbly. I think that's a no mama's way.
No mommy's way.
Not so humbly. Thanos was talking to God over the weekend after his. When did I talk? No, I didn't do the spirit molecule. You make it seem like I said I was. No. A little drip and then you wilding right here. You know what I mean? I just think it's disingenuous. I think it's what's the other word? Disingenuous. And I think it lacks humility, in my humble opinion. Humbly speaking, Thanos was talking to God over the weekend after his near-death choking experience. He thankfully survived and is here to provide us with great quality content. That sounds real nasty and mean right there, you know what I mean? If I were you, I'd tread lightly.
Put him in a fucking bench, you might.
Did you grab that shot glass from the bar? I did. I brought it home with me. I'm going to see how many of that shot glass it takes to fill up this motherfucker right here that I be drinking in here. All right? But you see, I get no love, Shannon. I get treated, deleted, rejected, and shorted. All right? You can't be a stand up enough guy around here, all right? You either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. It is what it is.
Are these? I was laying.
All right. Let's get into this one here. Let me refresh my drink quickly. Salutes. Give me 1 second. That's it right there, Shannon. Can't win. Can't win. You know, I give and I give and I give and I give, and it's never enough. Never enough. All right? Shout out William Cadell on the check-in. I give and I give, and it's never enough. Never enough. Never enough. All right? And then I get accused, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever put don't put me in question. Right? But that's how it be, you know, one day you the realest motherfucker in the world, and the next day they call you a liar. Alright? It's like that. It ain't the first time. I've been there. Done it. Let's get it.
You don't want no problems.
The clowns of narco traffickers. Between balloons, cakes, and executions. Cases in Mexico. Let's get it. One of the strangest unalivings in the history of organized crime in Mexico occurred on one of the largest unalivings in the history of organized crime in Mexico occurred on the coast of Los Cabos, Baja California. It was October 18, 2013, and a party was being held in the Ocean House party room of the luxurious Marbella Hotel, which turned into a funeral in the evening. The jet set was gathered at the celebration according to reports. Among the attendees were soccer player Jared Borgheri, the vocalist of the band El Recodo Luis Antonio Lopez, the family of boxer Julio Cesar Chavez, and more, who toasted to the life of the man who had brought them together on the shores of the Gulf of California, Francisco Rafael Arellano Felix, the older brother of Benjamin, Carlos, Eduardo, Ramon, and Javier, the clan that founded the Tijuana Cartel in the 1980s. El Pelón, as he was nicknamed, celebrated his 63rd birthday, and he did it in the style of the Rug Lords. Everything in excess, nothing with restrictions. Waiters, singers, dancers, acrobats, and even a magician entertained the man who was imprisoned for 15 years for rug trafficking. There was also entertainment for the children who accompanied their parents. But one guest would steal the spotlight, a hitman clown. Around 8 o'clock at night, the clown pulled a 9mm pistol from his clothing and shot the birthday boy at point-blank range. With 5 shots, he unalived them in front of his guests, who ran for cover, as recorded by a hotel security camera. Immediately, the clown hitman took off his clothes to flee without being recognized. A pink wig and oversized shoes were left behind. Jose Rodrigo Arechiga Gamboa, a.k.a. El Chino Anthrax. The hitman disguised as a clown operated for Jose Rodrigo Arechiga Gamboa, better known as El Chino Anthrax. The hitman disguised as a clown operated... No, did he operate for him or was it him? Say what you got to say. You know what I mean? Let's see. Investigations into the case will conclude that the unaliver has an unoriginal nickname. He is known as El Payaso for his modus operandi of infiltrating parties with his face painted. He unalives in Baja California and Baja California Sur under the orders. Oh, so I guess it wasn't Chino. So come on, man. So tell me the legend hasn't been that it was him wearing the makeup. Am I wrong? Stop. Was it Primo? I don't know. Maybe. Because this seems different. Now they giving the credit to some unknown payaso. He unalives in Baja California and Baja California Sur under the orders of Chino Anthrax, the flamboyant hitman boss of Mayo Zambada, founder of the Sinaloa Cartel and mortal enemy of Arellano Felix family. In the following years, more criminals with the same nickname would appear. El Payaso is the nickname in the ranks. In the following years, more criminals with the same nickname would appear. Well, all right, so they're talking about clowns in general, right? Clowns in cartel culture and hitman culture in general, right? Well, they've already said with the first one that the clown was ordered by Chino Anthrax, and they make it seem like, or maybe AI wrote it for them. I don't know, man. I don't know. This is Cartel Insider, so what do we know? You know what I mean? It's always been said that it was Chino that did it himself. Facts. Zaza, if it was him, it would make sense because he had an exit strategy and he always wanted to be in the military. I mean, that would probably go for anybody that did it, though. Salute, Zaza. Appreciate you. That'd probably go for anybody that did it, though. They'd be somebody gung-ho enough to do some shit like that. Shout out Vernon Himes on the check-in. Appreciate you, sir.
You don't want no problems.
Salute Shannon. Haven't read JP's Thank God Sai survived his choking. Then to watch the replay, I saw what he was talking about. You see how he did me, Shannon? He turned some shit. I'm telling you, man, I created a monster, bro. I sent him over to Section 8 for sneaker battles. And, the boy had to fight his battles around there. And he came back on some guerrilla shit. And now he done directed it at me, boy. It's hard out here for a pimp. You know what I mean? It's hard out here for a pimp. Let's see. Can't win. All right, let's get it. On to the next payaso. In the following years, more criminals with the same nickname would appear. El Payaso is the nickname in the ranks of the Jalisco Nueva Generación Cartel of Fabián Urbino Morales, who participated in the October 14, 2019 ambush against state police in Aguililla, Michoacán. He and his accomplices unalived 13 uniformed officers who entered without permission to the municipality where Nemesio Segura Cervantes El Mencho was born. Damn. Took out 14 officers, huh? Crazy. That's crazy. And on December 8, 2023, Mexico learned that La Nueva Familia Michoacana also had its own clown, Juan Carlos Garduño Martinez, Plaza Chief of Tecaltitlan. God damn. On fucking T's and L's and X's and shit. State of Mexico, where he was lynched to termination by neighbors fed up with the collection of derecho de piso, a kind of floor fee, basically a VIG, extortion, a torture, and physical manipulation as a method of pressuring for payment. So this is the town turning on them. The villagers of Tecatitlan organized an ambush on the extortionists. That's the people fucking fighting back right there. Salutes to them, all right? Salutes to them. This is Sparta. You know what I mean? Salutes to them. Let's get it. Yeah, this is a different clown they're talking about now. I'm on our third clown, all right? Second clown took out 13 uniform officers. Third clown was charging a VIG in the neighborhood and got done up. You know what I mean? I was watching to see if anyone knew the Heimlich maneuver. I was teaching my nephews how to dislodge something if they was choking using a chair this weekend. It's funny that you say that. But I didn't choke. This is JP's false narratives. You cannot follow JP's narratives. JP has become the internet. All right? It's the internet. It might be just like this 10K 24-hour stream. It's crazy madness. You know what I mean? It's crazy madness. See? Blue Raven's mind, bro. But salutes to the people for fighting back. Wait for that second paragraph. More T's, L's, and Z's. God damn, boy. This is fighting back right here, though. They ain't going for it. Other records in the press tell of a clown who sold rugs in, god damn, Tlaltizapan, Morelos, another clown who stole cars with violence in the capital of Oaxaca. One who, on weekends, was called Puchungazo, and the rest of the days kidnapped in Mexico City. Oh, so he had all kind of gigs, huh? What makes crime hide behind a red nose? Cjng hitman clowns and other nightmarish cases. Psychologists have a name for the fear felt, and I include myself, by those who encounter a clown. Coulrophobia. In a version, I got coulrophobia. I can't stand these fucking clowns. There's a whole bunch of these clown motherfuckers that I'm allergic to. So I think I got coulrophobia. Because I be around a clown, funny style, goofy motherfucker, and it frustrates my soul. I feel it inside and shit. And it raises a beast. Right? Salutes. Boom. Did that shit. $100. Salutes. Good job, Shy. I'm working on it. All right? Coulrophobia, an aversion experienced by millions of people around the world. All right? Millions. Canadian psychiatrist Ramy Nader, an expert in this field, believes that coulrophobia is triggered by the clown's makeup, which hides his true identity and intentions. And British psychologist Frank T. McAndrews claims that the crux of the fear lies in suspicion. Those who interact with a clown never know whether they're about to get a pie in the face or be the victim of some humiliating prank. The clown's unusual physical characteristics only add to that uncertainty. Mystery and unpredictability are two qualities that appeal to members of organized crime that could explain, for example, the terrifying... Mystery and unpredictability are two qualities that appeal to members of organized crime. That could explain, for example, the terrifying nights in September 2019 in Camargo, Tamaulipas, where hitmen from the Jalisco Nueva Generación Cartel strolled through the main streets wearing clown masks. Their hidden identity and the uncertainty of what they would provoke caused the community, accustomed to violence, to panic and lock themselves in their homes. The sadistic prank had the desired effect amongst the neighbors to reaffirm, without firing a bullet, the cartel's dominance. That's sad, man. Just oppressing your own people. Walking down the street with your clown mask. Fucking jerk-offs. You know what I mean? I think I got that shit too when I get to work, bro. Yeah, it be like that. Anybody remember those clowns on the news a couple years ago? Yeah. I would let a clown run up on me, Papa. I'm going to show you something funny. Fuck around and find out. Crazy. Stop it. Wilding out. All right, let's get it. There are more reasons to fear clowns, experts say. Hold on, man. I got to refresh right here. Oh. Or I could do that. Sorry, brain's always moving. So solution to a problem might have just arose in my mind. It would be a dead giveaway for me seeing these masks. They look like they got them at a 99-cent store. I'd be like, I know these motherfuckers. I know who these motherfuckers are. Run. A girl I used to mess with from ATL got picked up by clowns in what, Michigan? What do you mean picked up, bro? And then what? What happened after she got picked up? You can't just tell us a quarter of the story. What happened? It sounds like everyone took Chino's strategy and ran with it. Got the results they were looking for. I mean, in that case, yeah. No, for real, like that. It ended, Zamora? That was it? That was the end of the story? God damn. Wow, that's crazy. But how they know there was clown? A girl I used to mess with from ATL got picked up by clowns in Michigan. May her soul rest in peace. Hell yeah, rest in peace to her. Fuck. But yeah, clowns they've always been scary clowns, you know what I'm saying? Twisted Metal, Pennywise, Pagliacci, not Pagliacci. That was the sad clown, but Pennywise and they've always been used as some kind of horror trope. A levantaron more than likely. She's yeah, man, that's crazy. Was it done in Atlanta? Did it happen in Atlanta? That's crazy. Cause like, how they know it was clowns? It sounded like everyone took Chino's strategy and ran with it and got the results they were looking for. No, well, yeah, there's already a psychology attached to these clowns, and then they paraded down the street with them, scared the shit out of people who already were used to having the shit scared out of them. And this took, Michoacan, my bad. See, I don't put those things together. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Those things, if you say MICH, I'm a Midwesterner. That's Michigan for me, so my bad. So these dudes were doing this before Chile. Don't call her Zoe. I'm Primo. I don't know if you remember, but she will fuck you up.
Put him in a fucking bed, you might.
Don't say her name if you're not going to say Zoraida. All right, these dudes were doing this before Chino did it. If you look back when Caballeros Templarios came up, they were wearing masks like this too. I mean, clowns have always had a psychological effect. So, again, Pennywise the clown was back in the day too. So this shit has always been prevalent. But Chino did make it famous. Definitely made that famous. That so it happened to be Choacan. Okay, that's crazy. There are more reasons to fear clowns, experts say. The exaggerated facial features can be intimidating. The brightly colored costumes can be uncomfortable to look at. And people can inherit the fear from a family member. Although the most common reasons are the negative image of clowns in popular culture and an actual unpleasant experience with these circus figures. In 1940, the writer Bill Finger gave Batman his great archenemy, a villain who doesn't aspire to concentrate power or money, one of the greatest villains, if not the greatest villain in history. All right, listen to this, because this is the psychology of this character. In 1940, the writer Bill Finger gave Batman his great archenemy, a villain who doesn't aspire to concentrate power or money, but to unleash chaos. And to personify that criminal mind, he turned to an unpredictable clown. Thus, the Joker was born. Michael Caine said it in The Dark Knight. Michael Caine said, sometimes there's just men that want to watch it burn. He said somebody had been stealing these giant rubies worth a lot of money. And they burnt the jungle hunting this guy down. You know what I mean? And he said some people, and he was throwing the rubies away. He wasn't even stealing them for nothing. He says some people just want to watch the world burn, and that's a fact. Some of these cartel guys, it ain't about the money. It's just about the monster inside. That's it. That's the motherfucker I want to expose on this channel. They don't get no... I ain't heard a valiant story yet. The only valiant stories I've heard is Don Alejo, Santa Miriam, and whoever else fought back. You know what I mean? Thus the Joker was born. In 1978, detectives in Illinois, USA, found in the garage of Democrat John Wayne Gacy's house the cuerpos of dozens of children and adolescents who had been sexually abused. The unaliver had lured them with his double identity, Pogo, a clown with a dark red smile and blue eyelids who unalived 33 youngsters. Pogo the clown. May his soul rot in the pit of Hades for whatever eternities this universe has. Mm-hmm. Shout out Pennywise. Tim Curry, Pennywise the clown. Nobody did it better than Tim Curry as Pennywise. The buck stops there, period. In 1990, a movie traumatized the millennial generation. No, motherfucker. It. By writer Stephen King, who invented Pennywise, an murderous and almost PDF clown, to terrorize 7 children trying to stop his infanticidal streak. And many others have been protagonists of horror cinema, from Killer Clowns from Outer Space in 1988 to amateur shorts with Ronald McDonald, the image of McDonald's as a deranged unaliver. In those representations, we could find the answer to why the forced disappearance of municipal policeman Juan Carlos B., who on February 5th, 2020 was taken from his home in Jacona, Michoacan, remains unpunished. The hitmen did it in broad daylight at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it was likely that someone would see them and report the abduction. But those who took him had a strategy to dress up as clowns to increase the terror. There were no witnesses and the policeman is still missing. And that sounds like the story that Zaza just told. Some clowns running up on and just snatching something. Kidnapper Bomboncito and other clowns in Santa Marta, Acatitla. In 2014, I traveled to the Centro de Readaptación Social Varonil de Santa Marta, me cago en tu madre, Acatitla, following the trail of an uncomfortably, goddamn, restart. And you from there? No, it's because they put the USA after it. I was confused for a second. But yes, I said Illinois. I did say it. Let's get this again. Following the trail of an uncomfortably laughable fact. In that prison, there were 130 clowns accused of all kinds of crimes, from homicide to taking it. Now, that's Arkham Asylum right there, though. They were the members of a clown workshop in the penitentiary facilities. Some of them had already combined a criminal career with children's parties before they were locked up, like the kidnapper Bomboncito. Others had discovered their vocation for red noses in prison, like Feluchon, accused of rug dealing. A bunch of mamabichos. Fucking clown dorks. I mean, watching them take juggling, acting, or makeup classes in the main auditorium of the Santa Marta Acatitla men's prison was like entering a madhouse. There were clowns with barely a layer of white makeup that made them look terrifying. With shredded clothes, with extra large cardboard shoes, smelling of MJ, solvent, or sweat. The teacher was as peculiar as his students. Martín Eliseo Rodríguez Aguirre, better known as Chispín, a street clown who founded the Mexican Union of Popular Workers and who, as a social service, went to the maximum security prison of Altiplano to make dangerous men laugh, such as snatchers Daniel Arizmendi, El Mocha Orejas, or Rafael Caro Quintero, founder of the Guadalajara Cartel. I still remember Puchungazo telling jokes. It's a lot of S's and Z's, Primo. You got to cut me some fucking slacks, and I'm from Illinois. And who did I see today? I saw somebody. You don't want no problems. Oh, it was Fred Hammond, the gospel singer. What did he say? He would say, "What's up, Chicago? It's Fred Hammonds." And yes, I added that extra S on there just for you, because Chicagoans put an S on the end of everything. Jules, you know what I'm saying? Dominic's, Aldi's. But this is a lot of syllables and shit. Puchungazo. What the fuck is a puchungazo around here? Huh? Let's get it. I still remember Puchungazo telling jokes about life in prison and the best methods to unalive someone and pass it off as self-termination. His character always carried a straw in his hand that pretended to be a knife to bury anyone who crossed him. When my visit to the jail was over, he laughed, showing me his yellow rug-eaten teeth. Coño, man. When are you inviting me to your house, he said, and I admit, I felt like I was a 7-year-old again and saw Pennywise the Clown coming out of the shower drain. Organized crime knows well that the clown's access to their clients' homes is worth gold. People pay to invite a stranger, who often arrives with his face painted and in costume, making it difficult to know his real identity. And while he does his routine of jokes or plays with the children, he can keep an eye on what's in the house: the cars, the appliances, the jewelry, the money. In 2018, the streets of Acapulco, Guerrero saw an atypical parade. Clowns carrying banners and shouting at the top of their lungs instead of using their high-pitched childish voices. Motorists were told that it was a peace demonstration, But reporters were told with fear that they were gathered to ask for help, as local criminals were forcing them to spy on their clients and warn who might be snatchable or extortable. God damn, the real clowns ain't even safe? Coño, man. Shit. What the fuck? So they co-opted the clowns too and said, hey man, infiltrate these homes, take a good look at what's going on, and these fuckers had to go out and protest the oppression of their way to make a living. You know what I'm saying? Fuck. That's crazy. They said they were there to ask for help as local criminals were forcing them to spy on their clients and warn who might be snatchable or extortable. Some clowns who refused to work as spies had been physically manipulated. Their colleagues revealed. Still others, faced with the danger of being unalived, had handed over the requested information with an enormous burden of guilt. They all regretted that their profession, perfected to make people laugh, was deformed into the weeping of a family celebrating a child's birthday one day and attending the father's funeral next. This story does feel kind of ChatGPT-ish in the sense of they gave him an outline of clowns. So, hey, let's talk about clowns and their connection to the Bartels. But this shit right here is crazy that you bastardize some shit that's designed to make people laugh. It's crazy. Deformed into the weeping of a family celebrating a child's birthday one day and attending the father's funeral the next. That's disgusting. They all regretted that their profession, perfected to make people laugh, was deformed into the weeping of a family celebrating a child's birthday one day and attending the father's funeral the next. A dead clown turns up in San Pedro Garza, Nuevo León. A similar claim was made in 2016 by then mayor of San Pedro Garza, Nuevo León. Cartels should stop using childish symbols in their crimes. The PAN political party member Mauricio Fernandez made this criticism when the body of an elderly man was found in his municipality. His attackers had hanged and abandoned him wearing a clown mask. They even painted the word coche and a finger on his chest, a reference to snitches who report criminals to authorities. Thanks to the mask, the unalivers managed to get their crime covered in the media. And recently, on Halloween 2024, two hitmen took advantage of people taking to the streets in costumes to go unnoticed and unalive the owner of a pharmacy in the Campestre Aragon neighborhood in the Gustavo A. Madero borough of Mexico City. Perhaps because the masks were poorly visible, the clown's hitmen missed their shots, and instead of unaliving the shopkeeper, unalived his 7-year-old son. May your souls burn eternally wherever. All right? And if I could find you there and stomp you out a couple of times too, but I hate you fucking no aim, can't see who I'm shooting goofy bitches. You disgust me. All right? The clown hitmen missed their shots. Perhaps because the masks were poorly visible, you pole-smoking bitches. All right? All right? May your DNA see no peace. No peace. Because you can't make that right there. When the Capitol's police reconstructed the crime and found the motorcycle, the unalivers fled. When the Capitol's police reconstructed the crime and found the motorcycle the unalivers fled on, it was linked to several crimes committed by the anti-union force, the criminal group seeking to displace a La Unión Tepito. It's all a circle jerk. Politics, crime, and bitches. Organized crime thrives on symbols and has chosen one that makes us uncomfortable. It even terrifies many of us, and it uses our deepest fears to subdue us, to ensure that we remain silent in the face of its atrocities. We already know the reason behind some of the clowns. We already know the reason. Behind some clowns, there's a story that doesn't make us laugh. Alright? Bunch of mama bichos and clown masks and shit. You know? Hitman. You a hitman. Mistakes, no mistakes. No kids. Okay? Look at you now, motherfucker. All right, that's what happened to motherfucking that's what happened to old man Salamanca and Scarface, huh? I tell you, no women and no kids. And look at you now, you dead. You stupid fuck. Thank you, Shy Primo. Yeah, clowns are just fucking creepy. They definitely got famous after Chino. Facts. Yeah, I think he got famous because it was an Arellano brother and he walked into the party and shot him and left James Bond. So, I mean, it's a story. It's a story. That's lore. Legend. And you from there, Illinois. That's like the memes where they say when the Spanish come out, and the S pop up. People, yes, that's exactly how it went. Shy covered it. There's a video on the channel. Sounds like noise. Not Illinois. They know. Salutes. They train in jail, ready for release time. Yo, straight clown mamabichos. Why so serious? This motherfucker's wildin'. There were some daycare workers who made news scaring the hell out of little children in their care. I mean, clowns are supposed to be happy. If you're going there, you scare the kid, either the kid has a natural phobia of clowns or the clown sucks. You know what I mean? Bitches is the right word. Salutes. JP, why so serious? I don't know. Why so serious, motherfucker? Let me go read why so serious. Let's see. Let's see how serious this sounds. Humbly speaking, Thanos was talking to God over the weekend after his near-death choking experience. He thankfully survived and is here to provide us great quality content. I don't know why so serious, fucker. Wow. All right, but yeah, bunch of jokers, straight clowns. Straight clowns. Crazy. This is a clown with a 50 cal. And these clowns are not funny clown faces. These are murder clown faces. You know what I'm saying? But there's something inherently sad about clowns anyway. How many iterations of the Joker? How many iterations of Pennywise? It's not something that goes away. But yeah, we definitely covered the Chino Anthrax joint. All right. Sorry, treading lightly. You ain't pick up on the Joker's line. I did. I picked up on it, but that's why I told you why so serious, nigga. Salutes. Should put a Joker face in there. Joker emoji. Do we have a Joker emoji? Who watched the fights this weekend, man? Huh? It's up in the chat for y'all. I'm going to hit record because rather than move the stream, I'll just talk about it right here and just drop it over there next. Because it's kind of late. It's a Monday night. And ain't nobody going to take the link. Did I watch the fights? Shout out Al the Pal on the check-in. I was suffering from loss of sleep, and then I put the fights on, and boom, problem solved. So you ain't take the spirit molecule? No, sir. It was, again, an environment thing, right? So, once again, Friday was decent weather. But Friday, boom, went and did our thing. Saturday, freezing balls. Not an ideal situation. Again, the only reason I went out there to do it is because I want to do it in nature. I want to do it in the grass, shit like that, right? I've done it in my chair before. But the environment wasn't conducive. It was cold. Then Sunday came around, and it was beautiful. And we decided to stay the extra day. The moment we made the decision, storm. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't ideal, so we skipped it again. It's not something you have to rush. It's not something you instantly want to do again right afterwards. It's something that you take your time with. You get the right circumstances. You go in with the right mind state. You come out with the right results. So we'll get to it, though. I'll keep y'all posted. I always let you know when it's a close maybe. But who's waiting for that perfect, moment? It never happened. Shout out Upper Echelon on the check-in. Salutes. Appreciate you, sir. We back at it over here. He said he was suffering from sleep loss, and the fights put him out. So let's see. Let's talk about the fight saga. So, for the sake of the people that were around me, that are not all MMA guys, everybody's a casual boxing fan. Everybody out there is a casual boxing fan, right? And because everybody's out there casual boxing fan, I said I'm not going to push to watch MMA, which I knew was going to be a more exciting fight. I've been saying it all day, right? I've been saying it all weekend. I've been saying, dude, I was saying on Friday, I think I said in the Discord, dudes don't got to kill, you know, they don't smell blood in the water. They don't go for the kill. You know what I mean? Just a week ago, we saw Chris Eubanks Jr. against Conor Benn, a fight that probably wasn't supposed to be as fun as it was. You know what I'm saying? That was a fun fight. They went after it. They left everything out there. Salutes to them. Two guys that are not holding belts. Two guys that are not in their divisions. They went out there and they fought like they were hungry. They went out there and fought like they had a problem with the motherfucker across from them. You know what I mean? And then, boom, Friday comes around. I think I'm traveling when the fights start. We got, 4 supposed main events? Let's pull up the card, just so we could take a look at what the card was. Let's take a look at the card. Where is it? There we go. It was what's the word? It was billed as 3 main events, okay? It was billed as 3 main events. It was billed as Haney versus Ramirez, Lopez versus Barbosa, and Garcia versus Rolly Romero. Okay? And you think to yourself, coño, man, that's going to be a barn burner, huh? Everybody's going to throw hands. Everybody's going to try to be the champion. Oh, these are the guys that are always fighting each other, talking shit to each other. Oh, this is going to be great. Right? And everybody's defending boxing to me all the time, which you don't have to, because you have to understand, I'm a boxing fan. I'm a basketball fan, just not of today's game. I don't want to watch no fucking LeBron James crying on the floor like this, looking at his eyeball. I mean, looking at it through his hand to see if the ref is watching him fake it all over the fucking floor. I don't want that. I don't want to see that. That's not for me. That's not what I want. Like Allen Iverson would say, the game, that's not the game that I love. Practice? We talking about practice, or we talking about the sport that I love? Boxing is not a game. But I already had jokes before this set of fights happened. You could ask also, or whoever I talk to about fights in text on the internet. You know, you'll see it. I said these guys don't got the killer instinct. These guys forgot how to go for the kill. You rarely get the shit that you get between Chris Eubanks and Jr. and Nigel Conor Benn, right? Those fights. That's why I hold certain fights in such high regard. Fights like Mickey Ward and Arturo Gatti, guys that didn't have to take themselves to the brink, but did, because that's what the fuck we are there to see. That's what we're there to see as combat sports fans. And that's what you promised to us as fighters and promoters, right? Shout out HG on the check-in. Salute.
You don't want no problems.
Upper Echelon said they fought. Who? I don't know who you're talking about. JP said Sunday was a trip. It rained in NY, Chicago, and Cali all on the same day. Shit was wild, dog. We had all the seasons together in one day. Yeah, en la naturaleza. That's what I wanted to do. They straight robbed the turkey. That's how I felt that too. Turkey walking around like he the man. Meanwhile, they lubing you up, bro. LaFlop James. Thought it was Dancing with the Stars this past weekend. It was, coño, what the fuck did people pay for? Huh? The people that paid for it. What did you pay for? But that's the promise you make to us as fighters. I'm not one of these casual fans that expects you to be on point every night. I'm not. Everybody has a bad day at work. Everybody has a day where they're not feeling themselves. Right? But I wasn't convinced. I was like, I don't know that we're going to see too much crazy shit. Listen to me about this. The press conferences ain't even entertaining me no more. The press conferences ain't even entertaining me. Their shit is horrible. Oh, my joke was that they didn't fight. God damn, I missed it. Bro, I'm telling you, I'm rusty. I was off for a couple of days. I'm back, but salutes. It's going though. They fought. Listen. I already had no hope, no faith. I knew there'd be exciting fights. I thought there'd be exciting fights, but I knew there wouldn't be no finishes. I doubted finishes. I lean more to decisions always in boxing because these guys don't look like they want to hurt nothing. You know what I mean? And the press conference is not even exciting. Because first of all, their trash talk is garbage. Garbage. Their slick talk is shit. They're not funny. Sometimes Rolly is. Sometimes all of them are. But you got to go through piles and piles and piles of shit to get to something funny, something dope. Right? So the other day, they were doing all this press, and all they were doing was telling each other to shut the fuck up and fuck you and I don't give a shit. I don't buy it. Then fight day happens. Then fight day happens, man. The first fight day, Friday. Unprecedented card, supposedly will never be done again. Another banner of the money that the Turkey's spending. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. Another banner of the money that Turkey's spending. Live, invite only, Times Square, New York City. All right? New York City. Outside. All right, cool. And aside from probably Tiafimo, who put a little bit of, sazon on his performance, it's a fucking shit show. It was a shit show. Everybody decided to have a bad day on the job. Rolly the only one that went in there and actually did work. I saw the heavyweights. The heavyweights went to a draw. There was two other draws. There was another draw, too. Like, it was mad draws. Shit was crazy, dog. Shit was out of line. Right? Let's get in the chat. Shit was out of line. The fuck did I pay for? You can't have a bad day when you get in a bag and you have 30 million viewers. You can't, right? But you don't control that. Because if you get up and you just don't feel the pep in your step, then you're going to take a beating. Problem is if the other guy fucks up and doesn't do nothing, then you both look fucking stupid up there. He should have took advantage of your bad day and beat your ass. If you're gonna have a bad day on the job with all this money on the line, should have got your ass whooped. But to have a bad day on the job and not get your ass whooped, that's crazy. Every fighter went home feeling good, no bruises. Everybody was nice. Everybody's face was okay. Everybody feel amazing. Ugh. Let's see. Everyone in attendance was like, buddy, what the fuck is this? I'd rather go pray, buddy. Bro, listen, and that's another thing. How much money they didn't spend. You know how much money it cost to shut down Times Square? Sheik's spending a bag. You know how much money he's giving these jerk-offs so that they could run around and show each other's chains and talk shit to each other? A lot of money, man. Oh, we haven't even got there yet, JP. We're going to get there. I feel like the Cuban who fought Canelo threw the fight. That guy was undefeated, 23-0, 11 KOs. His chance to capitalize against Canelo and make a name for himself, yet he danced the entire time. And did it proudly. Did it like he was doing some cold shit. What fucking world do I live in? It's quite possible, JP. You never know. You never know. I thought, for a second, I said to myself, man, if this guy, I thought he was Mexican trained, in the program. I mean, not Mexico, in Cuba. I'd have gave him more of a shot. Then I found out he was fighting out of Berlin, Germany. Upper Echelon said, we expect from people who get hit. We expect that from people who get hit in the head for a living. What? To be witty, smart? Yeah, there's a lot of fighters that are. You know what we expect? We expect the promotion to get shit under control and make their product look good. If I'm not even interested in the press conference anymore, and then you give me 3 main events that you've been selling as this 3 main event, historical, in the middle of Times Square, and those suck, and the press conference suck.
No mommy's weak.
Stop it. I'm surprised they could talk. Ref had to tell him multiple times to fight. Ref was out of pocket. Ref should have done that shit in the 4th round. Timidity. If you got to take a point, take a point. Should have done it in the 4th round. Nobody did their job. That's my point. Everybody fucked up at the same time. Everybody fucked up at the same time. It's his style, JP. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that guy. Oscar said the same thing. You knew what that dude was going to do. The thing with that dude, Primo, is that dude was too proud of that performance while he was doing it. He was you don't come out to Celia Cruz Carnaval and then you switch to the German national anthem. That's where he had me fucked up, and that's where I was done right there, all right? I checked out at that moment. Salutes. The only decent fight was Rolly's comeback. Rolly did his thing. Yes, Jonathan, they still didn't fight. Ref should have did that shit in the 4th round. But that's just in that fight. We haven't even got there yet. We're going to get there. We need to watch Logan Paul. Upper Echelon stop. You always got to go too far. I mean, at least earn the money and get your ass whipped. Yeah, that's the thing. But that's on the other guy, Upper Echelon. You can't whoop your own ass, right? So that means there was 2 failures at the same time. The guy who's having a bad day, he should have got his ass whooped. The other guy fucked up too. I'm talking about out there in Saudi Arabia. No, and that's another thing. We'll get to that. Saudi Arabia wasn't a sellout. And that was my point of bringing up the Times Square thing when you mentioned it. When you mentioned this part about Saudi Arabia. These guys they're just putting money out there, bro. These guys are basically got a big bread and they want to see the fights they want to see every weekend in their living room. That's it. That's what they want to do. Turkey wants to be able to walk up and tap on the apron while the guys are fighting. He wants that freedom. That's what they're doing. Profit down the line. We'll worry about profit down the line. Right now we throw this money. And that's what they've been doing. Throwing money, right? Throwing money. And guess what? Everybody just walked off with their fucking money this weekend. Even Canelo. Everybody just walked off with their money this weekend. New York is gonna be like, yo, never again. Someone be. I'll be wanting to say it, you know, but YouTube. You know. If I was gonna throw the fight, I would at least get my ass whooped. We'll get to that part. We ain't even got to the Canelo yet. I want to play a couple videos. He said, "Yep, he was proud. He thought he was winning. He was a jerk off. He was a jerk off. He was a fucking jerk off." Canelo stopped at the end and was like, "What the fuck was that?" And dude was like, "Canelo, you see what I did? I survived you. Beautiful. Hug me." What? I was conflicted when I saw the Cuban flag. Then I heard the Germany. They even made 24-karat gold belt from England. That Ring Magazine belt looks like shit. Oh, 100% gold. I don't give a shit. The band on that belt, the strap on that belt is garbage. Garbage. Ugly belt. Fake ass belt. That's what it looked like. But anyway, I digress. I hope Canelo fights Benavidez after Crawford. I don't know. We're going to get to him. So these fucking guys go. Okay. Let me see if I can find some video. Let's find some video. Well, I will say this. The Devin Haney-Ramirez fight broke some records. Definitely broke some records. Canelo was pissed. But guess what, upper echelon? He wasn't pissed enough to tie him up, to dirty box with him. He wasn't pissed enough to cut the ring off on him and trap him. He wasn't pissed enough. He was getting his check too. No? Facts. The Rocky Prop belt looked better. Facts. Even the dude presenting the belt flopped it. He took a long ass time checking out the box. Listen, that's what I love about Dana White getting involved. Dana White gonna put an end when it comes to if they do what they said they're gonna do together as a company. All of this national anthems and Turkey getting an honorary belt and Turkey coming out. Turkey does not know how to run the show. Turkey don't know how to run the show. In the sense of the TV, the product. He's no Paul Heyman. He's no, Jim Ross on the microphone, right? He goes up there and he's like, "Okay, you win the fight, Canelo. Okay, come here, Crawford. Come here, Crawford. Crawford, come. Crawford comes. And then we're gonna have Canelo versus the Crawford." It's like they forget Bud's name and shit, right? He's not good at that. All this, let's invite the Turkey into the ring to get this honorary. Dana gonna be like, "Get that shit the fuck out of here." Fight, and then the next fight, and then the next fight, and then the next fight. Let's get this pace going. Enough with the bullshit. Shout out Jacqueline on the check-in. He was running too fast. He was proud of his running skills in that fight. But guess what? Who ran more? Should we put up a poll? Because y'all probably didn't see. Everybody who saw the Canelo fight didn't see the Haney fight. Who ran more? Haney and Ramirez? Or Canelo and fucking School? Canelo should have hung on dude. I would have put my weight on him. I would have trapped him in the... Just whatever you got to do to make a fight. Again. Canelo don't have to, right? He's the champ. All his belts were on the line. So he's happy to just wait for this asshole to do something. He got charged with a low blow. Oh, he was crying to the ref too? Oh, that dude was disgusting to me, dog. Disgusting. In my opinion, I felt like he respected his patience, because if he would have ran after him and then made him... Oh, no, that's the thing. It's the fear of the mistake. It's the fear of, why do I risk the biscuit for a dude that don't want to scrap with me? Because yes, el valiente muere cuando el cobarde quiere. Canelo could have easily charged after him and then got caught on his shit. And we have the biggest upset in the history of boxing. That's not what happened. You know? That's not what happened, but you're right. Why go in there and risk that happening? This guy don't want no piece of me. You know? But I think Canelo, if he wanted a scrap, if If he wanted to go out there and put an ass whooping on this dude, he could have cut off that ring and he could have stopped him, or put his weight on him, or he could have mixed it up. There was no mixing. It was just flat-footed. It was Periquito Ping Ping dancing all over the fucking ring, twinkle toes, and then it was Canelo. You know? Why do more than I have to? So you're right. Why do more than I have to? That takes two to tango shit. Now, if he was an up-and-comer, I get it. You know, you jump on a dude, put your weight on, bully him, try to create something different, create opportunities in the fight. There was nothing different. I was defending the fight in the 4th round saying, nah, they just downloading each other. At some point, Canelo's going to turn the gas on, and that shit never happened, man. Turkey's spending a lot of bread, though. He even bought Ring Magazine from De La Hoya for $10 million. Haney needs a clown mask from the bartender with his goofy ass. That's exactly what happened. That's why Canelo was not cutting the ring off. It was still an upset. Yeah, I was upset. Everybody was upset. Everybody was upset. All right, but look. So boom, the Haney. Let's go find some Haney shit right here. Let's see. Let's see. That's the question. I might have to put up the poll, man. What fight was more dancing, more running? The Canelo school fight, where one ran and the other one stalked? Or the Ramirez fight, where, I don't know, man. I just felt like there was a force field between the two of them. In my opinion, who's going to want to fight a boxer that just runs and doesn't fight? That guy, nobody's going to want to fight that guy. Nobody wants to watch him, that's for sure. You want to watch him? I don't want to watch him. Hell no. I don't want no parts of dude. No way. Leave me out of it. Leave me out of it. That shit was disrespectful. Let me see what I got in this. I don't know if I put in the watch later, history. Shout out Upper Echelon. Hey guys, it's bedtime for me. Y'all have a good night. Salutes. Have a good night. Let me see. That Haney fight was crazy. So they broke a record, y'all. What was it? It was the least amount of strikes landed in a 12-round fight. Let's see. Haney, Ramirez, break record. That's a foul-ass, disrespectful record. And Bill Haney, shut the fuck up. Shut up. All the fathers, shut your mouths. Nobody cares to hear from you motherfuckers, man. You're not that clever. The shit sounds silly. Fucking nuts. Salutes Upper Echelon, Shy. Blessings, Shy. Hit you tomorrow. We're halfway there. Gracias. All right. I don't know what the fuck that means, but salutes. Have a good night. It reminded me of that time they ran up on Charlemagne and he booked it. They smacked his ass. Pat. He took off. Well, you got to take off. You don't know what's behind you, what's happening. I done got run up on like that before. Smacked with something in the back of my shit. Had to get a couple of feet away and reassess the situation. You got to do what you got to do. Shy needs to do more lives. You wildin'. I'm about to start doing less lives and more content that I do behind the scenes. So I don't understand what you're talking about. Garcia spoke facts when addressing Bill Haney. I didn't hear it. I would like to hear that now. But let me see. What's the record? Here it is. Oh, God. And here's what's fucking crazy about it. That is, man, this is just foul and disrespectful. Devin Haney versus Jose Ramirez sets unfortunate punch record in Times Square fight. Devin Haney won a unanimous decision over Jose Ramirez on Friday night in Times Square. The fight scored at 119-109, 119-109, 118-110 was a forgettable bout. However, in fact, the two boxers set a record for the least punches landed in a 12-round fight this year, while also being the fourth fewest punches landed in the 40 years. CompuBox has been tracking fights. CompuBox debuted in 1985. They are number 4 for the fewest punches landed in the last 40 years. Qué bochorno, coño, man.
No, 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 no.
That's crazy. That shit is crazy. Per CompuBox, Haney and Ramirez threw just 110 punches between them. With Haney landing 70 and Ramirez landed just 40. I expect that from me and you in a street fight. I don't expect that from professional boxers. Haney landed 25 jabs to Ramirez's 23, and he landed 45 power punches to Ramirez's 17. Qué bochorno. Coño, man. It's ugly, man. Like a bird. Haney took control early on, and his moving and clinching was consistent through much of the fight. It looked as if Ramirez struggled to keep up. Haney landed more punches as the fight progressed. Thought it wouldn't be enough for him and Ramirez to avoid the undesirable record. I thought that shit was going to be a bullshit draw. Devin Haney beats Jose Ramirez by unanimous decision. Bullshit. Shit was huff. So, boom, they broke a record and they're number 4. Let me go back right here. No, I want to go where I was. Son of a bitch. Is it here? That shit was crazy. We ain't even got to the Canelo fight yet. I thought Canelo was going to save the day. All right? I thought Canelo was going to save the day, bro. You know what I mean? I thought he was going to save the day. Let me see. I'm trying to find some of the ones that I already watched that were dope. Let me see. Because it was pretty bad, man. Pretty fucking bad. Pretty bad. I was disappointed in not watching the MMA fights, man. I was out of pocket for that. Out of pocket. But was there more dancing? I mean, Canelo in school didn't break no fucking timidity records. You know what I mean? Haney and Ramirez, they broke timidity record for the year and 4th in the last 40. Stop. It's just crazy. I gotta start dumping shit on Discord instead of saving it in YouTube. I save too much shit. The disappointment, boy, on this weekend's boxing. And then Teofimo, he was doing his thing. And then these fools drove a Batmobile for like 30 minutes. Dana White would have thrown that fucking Batmobile in an alley. He would have thrown that shit in the alley. He'd have been like, nah, get that shit out of my face. Let me see. Let's go listen to what Tim Bradley had to say about it. I like Tim Bradley's take on this. He was pissed off. Tim Bradley was pissed. He probably said too much.
So that's how they're growing so fast. They're hiring freelancers. Look what they're doing with AI experts.
Unbelievable. That dog almost looks real.
Shawty, to me, it just seems like Haney be leaping, trying to headbutt when he throws punches. Just leaving himself open. It's just bad technique. Some of these guys are, they got holes in their game and could be trying to headbutt. I think from now on, they put in their contracts that if they don't fight, they only get half what they're supposed to get. This is ridiculous. Well, people complain about the UFC, but that's already in the contracts for a lot of people. For most of the people, they get half and half. You get half to show up and half to win. The loser don't get that winning bonus. You just get show up money. So if you don't win, it's a problem. It's going to follow them all their lives in their career. That Cuban dude, never want to see that dude fight again. These guys, is there hope for these guys? I guess, but they seem a little spoiled. They seem a little pillow-handed, don't want to touch each other, want to talk all that shit for months on end, and then, come on, man.
Fight Hub TV here with the Hall of Famer, one and only Tim Bradley. Tim, big showdown last night, Times Square. What'd you think about the whole fight? What'd you think about everything?
What did I think about what?
What'd you think about Times Square last night? You got the Devin Haney, you had Ryan Garcia and Rolly fight. A lot of stuff going on in boxing, huge weekend.
It underwhelmed, man. I was pissed off after watching that. And if I was pissed off, I know all the fans are pissed off too. I'm talking about pissed off. I was pissed off to almost like I felt like I was insulted last night after watching that. I felt like I was insulted. I was disappointed in each guy's performance, man. I was so disappointed. I thought all of them was whack. All of them. Every last one of them. I didn't see no hunger in these dudes, man. No hunger. Only there for the money. See, that's the problem. That's the biggest problem with today's boxing, man.
Gotta go downstairs.
That's the biggest problem, big dog. I gotta go downstairs.
Let's go this way.
That's the biggest issue with today's fighters, man. All these guys, man, everybody looking to line up and get that big paycheck, bro. That's it. They not looking to add to the sport. They not looking to add to any kind of legacy. All they want is the big paycheck, and they willing to do whatever they want to do whatever they need to do to get it. And that's the biggest issue, bro. No heart, no passion. Bro, where the Barboza? What the? Are you kidding me, bro? You've been waiting 12 years for this fight. You've been calling for this fight, bro. 12 years, and you put up that type of performance, bro? Are you kidding me? Come on, man. That's shameful, bro. That's shameful. 1, 2. You got it. Who else? Bernardo. Who else? Oh.
You got Ryan Garcia and Rolly.
I'm trying to get the hell up out of here. I'm trying to get up out of here.
Right, it's back this way out this door.
Yeah.
That'll let us out the back, but there you go, right here. That'll let us out. No fans over there.
You're also part of the
group. We're part of the group.
I gotta go. I'm right here. All right.
Thank you.
No, Ryan Garcia, same thing. Ryan Garcia ain't no true fighter. He's not no true fighter at all. It's so ironic, right? It's like how one didn't even train, or not I want to say train, but that whole year off, you had one that was rehabbing, the other one that didn't rehab, he put on the shit show too. Haney put on the shit show. Ryan put on the shit show as well. But Haney was supposed to be going back to the drawing board, getting better.
Bullshit.
Did you think he got better? Absolutely not.
Mosley to the team, all that stuff.
Bro, Bill Haney exerted more energy talking shit than they put out in that fight.
Just because you add a Hall of Famer to your team don't make it's gonna make you better. I promise you that. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes coaches, you don't have to be a Hall of Famer to be a good coach, man. To be a great coach. You don't have to be. You know what I mean? There's guys out there that just, that's what their calling is. To be great coaches, have that great eye. Anyways, I didn't see any improvement in Ryan. And I didn't see any improvement in Ryan. I didn't see any improvement in Haney whatsoever. But let me go back to Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia don't want to be a fighter. All Ryan Garcia wants is the money. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Bro, you already know that. And Ryan didn't even want the Devin fight either. He didn't want the Devin fight, bro. That showed me last night what he did last night, bro. Not even stepping on the gas and attempting to throw one combination the whole night, bro. Are you kidding me? Like, he didn't want the Devin fight. He didn't want to revisit that. Devin, yesterday, I felt like he didn't want the fight either with Ryan Garcia. The way he was.
Out of all of the nights, I don't know. I don't remember in the Haney fight. Out of all of the fights, though, I only saw one timidity warning. And that timidity warning came in the Canelo fight, and it came late, like the 11th round. I'm like, bro, you needed to be doing that in the 4th or 5th round.
Was fighting how scared he was. PTSD is a real thing in fighting, in boxing. It's a real thing. And I felt that's what I saw with Devin, watching him run around the ring. Man, I was like, damn, I was like, did this dude, I said, did he train with Usain Bolt? Who the hell he trained with? I said, he running around this ring like he crazy. I'm like, yo, settle your feet down, bro, and grow some balls, man. Grow some balls and stand there and jab and make sure to back this guy up off of you. But nah, man, like, look, I take so much, bro. I was so angry after watching that, bro. I waste my time watching that last night. Waste my time. And Teofimo Lopez, okay, he did his thing. He did his thing. But, Tio, you could have stopped Buddy. You could have stopped Buddy. Buddy was scared of you, bro. You could have stopped dude. You could have stepped on the gas a little bit more, but you want to play the safe route too. You want to secure your win. It was easy.
Yep.
I saw you in there playing, you being Gordo in there, but dude, you could have stepped on the gas too and could have went for it and could have, brought some attention to the show. Oh, good boxing, tremendous, but there was more that he can do too.
And I'll say this about Ryan Garcia. The realest Ryan Garcia I ever saw is after he got knocked down and after he got beat by Rolly at the press conference. You know? He was finally... That just showed me, you're not crazy, pendejo. You're stupid. You want the ire of the people. You want people to fucking be disgusted with the shit that you say and do. At the end of the day, what you say and do don't matter. What matters is what's in the ring. That's what matters. But he seemed very humble. I'll play his part of the press conference.
I'm saying ain't nobody off the cuff. Everybody. That whole show was trash. All the fighters on there, they don't have the passion, bro. They don't have the desire, bro.
I agree.
At all. Everybody is spoiled nowadays. These fighters are all spoiled. And it's all to y'all man that y'all love. All of y'all owe it to y'all man that y'all love. All those guys out there, all the people that love this man.
Talking about the turkey.
That
y'all
man
to
being
them.
Turkey Al-Sheikh?
I ain't say nothing.
Okay.
I ain't say no names, but I'm just saying. Spoiling these guys, man. These guys are making way too much money. And I get it. They all say, oh, wait, money. Bro, to get that? Those type of performances, bro? Come on, bro. No passion, no drive, no hunger. Fighters are whack. Straight up whack. All of them. Straight trash. Whack. I was horrible to watch yesterday, man. I was so angry, man. And you can still see I'm still angry about it.
You think?
Because
I think so. I think he's a little pissed off. I think Tim Bradley's a little upset.
I'm like, oh, that wasn't no boxing event. That wasn't a boxing event last night, man. That was, quote unquote, entertainment. That was the only thing that was attached to that. Entertainment. But no boxing event. That wasn't no real boxing event. Who the fuck shows up in a car, bro?
Yes.
Who?
And that's what I want.
And he says, they don't use it as an excuse. Salutes to them. They didn't come up with no excuses, no bullshit. Ryan Garcia and his coach. But they said, man, he was too long in that car, cooling off. And he said the fumes of the car was crazy. It's an uncomfortable situation. You want to get warmed up. You want to get out to the ring. The Sheik got to stop the show. He don't know how to do the show. The show is all... Who gives a fuck about a Batmobile from 1989 right now in a boxing match, bro? I don't give a fuck. What are we doing? Hit the like button if you have yet to do so. What are we doing? He sat around in a fucking car waiting, and they say, yeah, he was cooling off in there. Stop it. Turkey, stop. Let Dana do that shit. Dana streamline that shit. And yes, the MMA fighters, they get, let's just say your rate is 50,000. You get 50,000 to show, 50,000 to win. So when they fight, they know they're fighting for half of their check. They know it. A lot of people don't agree with that. But they are by far, when it comes to excitement, they are the superior sport for it. More consistently than boxing has become, you know. Saw the show with him. I'm glad they finally humbled his ass. It's not boxing.
Who does that, bro?
The whole event was just bizarre. It seemed like
it was
from the no fans being there, no
all the
recognized
above.
media
Exactly,
being there,
bro. Because
everybody
it was a flex. It was a flex, bro.
It was
a flex in New York.
I agree. It's these guys are spending money and they're taking whatever spot on the world. If they want to do it in Alcatraz, if they want to do it in Times Square, they're saying, this is my living room. I'm going to throw these fights. Yes. Give us the fights we want to see. Cut the bullshit. Don't kill the sport over it, you know.
New York's face, bro. That was a straight up flex, man. That's what that was. Straight flex. Look what we can do. It wasn't about the fighters.
Facts.
The fighters were pawns. That's all it was about.
Facts.
The fighters were pawns, bro. The real agenda, you don't know the real agenda. But at the end of the day, I'll just say this, man. I never want to see something like that ever again.
Yeah, me either.
I never want to see something like that ever again. If you fighters are not passionate about being the best out there, bro, don't get in the ring. Don't get in the ring, please. Don't get in the ring. Save my time, bro. That was so damn disappointing, bro. You wasted my time last night, bro. I was angry watching that. Trash. Anyways.
From one show to the next, Canelo Alvarez tonight, maybe to save the show, maybe to save the weekend.
But that's what that's last night was all for this. Was all for this, Canelo. Then you had to buy both of them, $90. Got you. Oh, you getting a hell of a deal. It was all geared towards Canelo tonight. That's what it was all geared towards. These dudes is...
And guess what? They did not save the day. They did not save the day. All right? It did not happen. Boxers are too spoiled now. That Cuban that ran all night made $3 million for running around, smiling. Hey, Canelo, look at me. You can't touch me. Look. What the fuck? Shit's crazy, man. What world am I living in?
Again, sacrificial lambs. They weren't great fights. Terrible fights, man. So, hey, look, man, say
Canelo tonight.
Hopefully a knockout win. Give me some love. Good to see you. Hopefully a knockout win, because he's supposed to. He's supposed to knock Buddy out.
This is my friend.
Yeah, good luck with that. Never happened.
Okay,
Good to see you. Goodbye. Goodbye. He's supposed to knock this dude out. Buddy's supposed to be knocked out. Cuban fight, man, look, man. I know the Cubans gonna get mad, but man, name one guy, a Cuban out there that's fired. Name one guy that's fired.
That's an active Cuban, I mean.
I'm talking about amateur. This ain't amateur. I'm talking about the pros. The pros. The pros, man. So I'm like, bro, that style of fight versus Mexican style or
well, shit, I'd love to hear what Tim Bradley had to say after the Canelo fight. God damn. All right? Save my time. Shout out JP. Said Saudi Arabian nigga kept getting up ringside in front of the group of his boys. Looked like he wanted to get in the ring. Bruh, that's the turkey. He walks up to the ring and he bangs on the apron and shit. Sit your ass down, man. I don't care that you paid for this. Go play your position. Be a businessman. Fuck is wrong with you? They've given him honorary belts in the ring. It's crazy. They don't want none of that shit. They don't want the show to go on and the people to be happy at the end of it. Dana's disgusted if there's a shit show. Disgusted. You know?
Bro, we dominate. Canelo's supposed to dominate this Cuban tonight. That's what he's supposed to do. Now, oh, you got Lara. Okay, I'll give you Lara. Lara's still relevant. You know what I'm saying? Still a champion, this and that and the third. Yeah, I get all of that. Okay, cool. We got one. Got one. So,
other than that, not impressed largely.
It was a package deal. Look, I got him.
Yo vivo tranquila con los pelos en la casa.
I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. You had Rigo. Where he at?
Were you or a loved one admitted to an Illinois behavioral health facility?
Hell.
A global settlement may be coming in 20...
Ramirez. Just recently. Where he at?
Oscar had some good takes. Again, I don't.
Who else?
I can listen if somebody I don't normally agree
I don't know,
with,
man. I don't know who else
has something that I agree with. So I agreed with a lot that Oscar had to say about it.
To be honest with you, off the top of the dome.
From one big time show to Sunday's big time show, the monster in a way, we just weighed him in right now. He looked sharp. He looked sharp at the weigh-in, at the workout in LA.
I didn't get to see it. I got to see highlights. The Inoue fight saved the weekend.
Hey, what's your expectation for the monster as he invades Las Vegas?
Look, come watch a real fighter. Come watch a real fighter. Watch a real fighter on Sunday. Someone that's passionate about the game. Someone that actually, hey, they do this, and they do this for real. They don't play. They do it for real. If you don't belong in the ring with me, you're going to get knocked out. Plain and simple. That's what you're going to see. If Cardenas doesn't belong in the ring with Inoue, he going to get knocked out. And I know a lot of people don't know Cardenas and stuff, and I saw the fight too, and I saw him, I looked at his resume and stuff. The dude can fight. He
got lightning in both hands.
He got a little power.
He
got
used
a little power, counterpuncher, but he ain't on Inoue's level. Absolutely not. He's not on his level.
That take age like hot milk.
And at this highest level, you're going to need more than just luck, especially when you're facing a guy like Inoue.
Before we leave real quick, Tim, I know you got to get going. I just want to revisit the trajectory for the winners of last night's fights. Teofimo Lopez, what's your expectation for him going forward?
I don't care. I don't care what's next for Teofimo Lopez. Don't give a damn. I don't care what Ryan Garcia need to go ahead and just hang him up. Hang him up. If you can't beat Rolly Ramirez, you can go hang him up. Hang him up. Straight up. You got outboxed by a dude that don't really know how to box.
Damn.
You've been doing it from the ground up. Think about that. From the ground up, bro. A dude that started boxing at 17 years old just whooped your behind, bro. Come on, man. Terrible. Then who else? What's that boy name?
Jose Ramirez.
Oh, and Ramirez. Oh, it's time. Hang him up, Ramirez. It's time. It was like your legs weren't working, neither was your hands, huh? Your fists weren't working. I'm like, what are you doing? Throw a punch. Cut off the ring, buddy. Haney. Haney, too. Come on, man. What the hell was you doing in there, man? I didn't know what the hell Haney was doing.
I talked with Bob Arum. I watched the fight.
Anyways,
with
am
Bob
I
Arum.
going the right way where the fighter meetings are?
I watched the fight with Bob Arum last night.
Well, it
Bob
was in the
said
track
that-
meet.
Bob said that all those guys are big underdogs versus Boots.
Yeah. Huge.
So we gotta stop.
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you.
Huge.
All right, Tim.
That's a serious dude right there. He a serious dude. Keep improving on your defense, though.
Appreciate you.
Got the Boost Ennis endorsement. You know what I mean? Let's get it. They all kissed his ass with his excellency. Get the fuck out of here. This is boxing, motherfucker. Yeah. Miss me with the excellency. Just put on the fights you want to see and miss me with the long show and it got to be 5 hours of cars driving bullshit. WWE is king at putting on an event even if it's considered even if it isn't considered a sport. I don't know, man. We can easily look at the attendance records and see who breaks the records. Good night, everyone. Salute Shannon. Good night. Sweet dreams. Salutes. Oh, yeah, no. Timothy Bradley was not happy. Hold on.
So you think you...
Let me find this. Robert Garcia rips Bill Haney. Hold on, real quick. First, let me get Oscar on those fights. Yeah, here we go. Right here. This is quick. He feel bad for. I don't feel bad for him.
All right, guys. I'm here in the Bahamas disrupting my vacation because I just have to speak on the 11 fights that I just saw with no knockouts. I mean, look, let's give credit where it's due. I think Rollies, congratulations. You came out and fought. Had a great win. I'm happy for you. Really am. You're a nice kid. Teofimo was the only one that probably came out and tried to entertain the fans with what he had to work with, you know? And I feel bad for Turkey. I really do. He's paying all this money to the fighters, okay? To turn out, to show up and fight and give the fight fans what the fans deserve. And those are great fights. Show up.
Yeah, I don't feel sorry for him. It's like, listen, man, if you waiting in a fucking Batmobile with your top fighter on the card, you know, I don't feel sorry for you. If you wanted to show off, you showed off. Your boys didn't do their thing. You know, they didn't. I don't know if you didn't give them enough incentive or what. You know?
Not just dancing around like Bill Haney and Devin Haney. I mean, my gosh, he was tagged a couple of times by Ramirez, and he just gets on his bicycle and just starts running for his life. Jesus. Anyway, he's done. Canelo. Jesus, Lord. Come on. You're getting paid all this money to fight against a runner who we all knew was going to run, a Cuban style. You chose him, and now you say you hate fighting runners? Well, then don't fight runners. We all know who we want to see you win against. That's Benavidez. Go up against Benavidez. Fight Benavidez. He won't run. What's wrong with that? It's a good fight.
Oscar's such a dickhead. He's such an asshole. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Karen. Hello, everybody from Germany. Salutes to you. Appreciate you. WWE set the blueprint for all this promo shit. The entrances and everything as well. Compare boxing 10 to 15. Oh, that I agree. See, what you're saying is the aesthetic and the spectacle of it. I'm getting down to the bare bones of it. Compare it to me saying the pacing of the matches. That's to me what I mean when I say put on the show on TV. Yeah, the aesthetics, the pyro, all of this, that's beautiful. That's one thing, right? I'm talking about pacing and performance, getting a performance out of your fighters. You know what I'm saying? Down to getting a good match. You can have all of the pyro and all the LEDs in the world. You throw a bullshit super kick, a real fan's going to see it. You know what I mean?
But it's sad. It really is. You know, it starts from the top, too. I mean, when you're fighting for the money and not legacy, every young fighter just follows that pattern. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the organizers, the people putting up the money, the promoters, you know. The fans especially. The fans want to see good fights. Let's go. It's the fighter's job to give the fight fans good fights. It's teed up for everybody. Turkey's bringing out his wallet and paying everybody. And
that he did do that. He teed it up. He teed it up probably too well for them.
The least we can give them is good fights. Go out there and fight. Anyway, I had to do this improv clapback, if you want to call it. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated. But, hey, we got Crawford.
Because here's the problem. It was like there was an epidemic of bad boxing this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if it was one or two fights, that's one thing. But when you have a 3 main event card, and then one of the biggest boxers in the world the next day, and it turns out like this, what a shit show of a weekend.
Canelo.
I really salty. I didn't watch the MMA card. I should have. It'd been more excitement, more enjoyable, but we got more content out of this, I guess.
I'm looking forward to it. Even though they're both almost 40, I'm looking forward to it. 'Cause it's a good matchup. But just show up and fight.
You talking about Bud versus Canelo?
But, hey, we got Crawford, Canelo. I'm looking forward to it. Even though they're both almost 40, I'm looking forward to it. 'Cause it's a good matchup. But just show up and fight. Please, show up and fight.
That shot, shout out your vid sucks. That shot was awful. Which shot you talking about? Shout out Zorada Facts. He's an a-hole. I never laughed so much listening to his ass. Salute. He's a sarcastic prick. All right, let's go to that Robert Garcia, Devin Haney. Let's get it.
Marcus Hayes with Fight Hub TV here with...
Oh, that shit was awful. All the fights were awful. Man, it was bad. It was bad. What up, Shine Chat? Hope all is well. Smash that like. I agree. Salutes to you if it sucks. Salutes.
Robert Garcia in partnership with Play Undisputed, available now on PS5 and Xbox. Coach, fresh back from New York.
That's right.
I see you with your bag and still might have your things in the road. Here you are, big fight again tonight, man. Talk to us about the event that was in Times Square yesterday.
Look, it was Friday. It was a different event, you know, different than what we're used to. Different than what we're used to. You know, we're used to, you know, the big arenas, you know, locker rooms and stuff like that. It was just weird, you know. It was a small corner where they put the ring, like 200 seats only. It was blocked off for the crowd. The locker rooms were in the hotel 2 blocks away. It was weird. It was weird. But just a different experience, you know. It was good just being part of it.
So just different, a different kind of a setup than we're...
See, that's too much. I don't want one of these special... I will say this, and I'm not making excuses for them. That whole shit could throw your game off. You expect you're used to performing with an arena that gives you energy. You got 200 jerk-offs and ass kisses in there, huh? You're outside. Your locker room is 2 blocks away. You're crawling over there in a Batmobile. What are we doing? It's too much, bro. Put it in a fucking arena. It's an arena sport. You know what I mean? Put the ring in the middle. People in the bowl. Done deal. Why are you overcomplicating shit? Because you want to spend money? Because you want to spend bread? Throw some of that bread over here. We'll throw you some good ideas. Fuck are we talking about?
We're normally used to seeing where things are right there. The doctors check in and check out. Everything's different. I heard there was a little bit of confusion with some footage that was out about Jose in an ambulance. What's going on with that, Coach?
Bill Haney,
was Jose injured?
Look, I've always said it, and before the fight and after.
So evidently Ramirez was in a picture of Ramirez in a ambulance was circulating after the fight. I guess Bill Haney tried to give credence to it.
The fight, you know, I've always talked to go to the. I've always said it, and before the fight and after the fight, you know, I've always talked to go to the Haneys. They've always given me nothing but respect. But for Bill to post a picture of Jose in the ambulance after the fight and saying something like they hurt him and they had to send him to the hospital, he knows he's lying to himself. He knows he's lying to the world, and that's what disappoints me, because he's a grown man. He's not a kid. He's a grown man, and he knows exactly that there was no locker rooms in that arena because it was a small corner. It was in the street. The locker room was in the hotel 2 blocks away. So they clearly told us in the rules meeting, after the fight, every fighter is going to go back to the street, and then we're going to have ambulance. And they're all going to go into the ambulance and be checked by the doctor.
It's just like that.
The problem is the ambulance didn't have shit to check because these motherfuckers didn't touch each other. You know what I'm saying? So what the fuck? Shout out your vid sucks. He said if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. What are we doing? Too much. Doing too much. That could have easily thrown them all off their game. They're sitting there fighting for a bunch of circle jerks in the street. What? Oh, because they thought it would be dope to see them show up in New York City taxi cabs in the Batmobile. Batmobile? Are we promoting a Batman movie, or did you just had a guy that had a Batmobile? Shut the fuck up. We don't need none of that shit. Shout out Papa the Stoner on the check-in. Salutes. All right? It's just crazy.
Just like they do here. Right now, right here, my fighter. Right now, our Barrera just won by knockout. Right. He still goes to the back and sees the doctor. Every fighter does that in every single fight. Everybody should know that. Absolutely. Every fighter does that. He goes and sees the doctor, they clear him and everything, they go to their locker room. So right there in New York, every fighter went to the back, to the ambulance, the doctors checked them, they released them, we get in the car, and the car drives us to the hotel. That's exactly what happened. And he knew that was going on. So I don't understand why he's trying to, that means he's lying to himself. You know, Bill, he's a grown man.
He's definitely lying to himself.
He's not a kid. Why are you trying to lie to the fans, to the crowd? You know, instead of apologizing for the type of fight that your son did. Ran and ran and ran and ran. You know, I'm not saying, you know, it would have been a much better fight if he would have fought with my father, and maybe he would have beat my father. You know, but at least do something, you know, don't try to lie to the crowd and say, oh, you still hurt him and you sent him to the hospital, because that's not true. That's not true. And when I see him I'm gonna tell him, I'm not gonna fight with him, but I'm gonna tell him, why you have to lie to the crowd when you know exactly what happened. You know exactly everybody had to be checked by the doctor.
I mean, Robert, if you want to fight with him, you can fight with him. You was a fighter. He don't know how to. Bill Haney don't know.
Ambulance.
Coach, how frustrating is it to go up against a fighter that moved around the way that Devin Haney did? What can you do to tell a guy? How can you box a guy that doesn't necessarily look like he wants to box?
Well, look, you know, he's coming off a beating. Let's be real. He's coming off a beating, so that was the best way to, they thought that was probably the best way to do it. I don't know. That was the game plan. They brought in Shane Mosley to help him. Shane Mosley's a warrior from Southern California. Man, Shane Mosley was never in those type of fights. Shane Mosley was a fighter. So I don't think Shane Mosley was probably disappointed. I don't think Shane Mosley told him to fight like that. They brought in Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley's a warrior from Southern California. Shane Mosley grew up in Southern California, where fucking fighters fight. And he used to fight. He fucking gave us beautiful fights. Shane Mosley, that was not Shane Mosley's style. So Shane Mosley didn't tell him you gotta box. He boxed because he was afraid to get hit. And his dad was afraid for his son to get hit. That's why they ran and ran and ran. Because that wasn't even boxing, that was running. Look, he's lucky because he broke record in less punches landing and less punches thrown. He's lucky Canelo's opponent did the same thing, and they beat that record, Canelo and Canelo's opponent. Because what's Canelo supposed to do when the opponent keeps running and keeps...
Did they beat that record? That'd be funny as fuck if they... Everybody's shit show was outdoing everybody else's shit show. That's funny. Sorry, remember the inmate unalived in NY? Hold on.
You don't want no problems.
Sorry, remember the inmate unalived in NY? First officer pled guilty to 15 years. What a message to send. That you can physically manipulate, Torture someone on camera during what you call your duties, who is helpless and can do nothing to you, and you can plead out to 15 years in this country. May every day be the most painful. Fuck you. All right? That's my answer to that. Salutes, JP. Shout out Working Man. Saludos to you. Appreciate you. Shane Mosley from Pomona, where I'm from. Saw him at amateur fights. Cool dude. Great fighter.
Keep running. There's nothing a fighter could do. You know, you could try to cut the range. You could try, but it's almost impossible.
Do you think that there should be, in wrestling, because I wrestled for years, there's a caution for stalling. When a guy's not engaging, the ref will stop the match and tell you, hey, I'm giving you an official
Yeah, none of the referees did their job in that regard as far as I'm concerned.
For a caution for stalling, encouraging the player or the wrestler in that matter to mix it up. Do you think that something like that should be installed in boxing?
There's no rules, but the ref could do it. We've seen it done before. Rex have done it. Where, hey, give me a fight. You know, guys got to fight. But everybody already knows Haney and Ryan. You know, so.
Don't upload your
that's horse shit.
videos to YouTube. Upload to Restream, where we will live stream it to YouTube and all your
They, you know, it was gonna. We were not gonna be able to do that because it was pretty much already set up for.
Now here's the thing, Robert's not saying. Wasn't it Robert's fighter that Haney was fighting? Well, Haney had 70 punches. That means Robert's fighter had 40 punches. So.
Haney and Ryan to meet each other. Ryan ended up losing too, but you know I think that was pretty much.
What was your reaction to that? Rolly Romero
happy for Rollies,
beating Ryan by decision.
I don't know Rollies personally. You know, I went against him with one of my fighters, Marines, a few years ago. The whole world, the world thought Martinez beat him, but that's fine. You know, Rollies is still a good dude. I see that he's a good character in boxing, and I was happy for him. I was happy that he became champion. He's now a 3-division champion, and he's got bigger things coming for him. So I'm happy for him. You know, when I talked to Brad Guman, and Brad Guman tells me that he's a great kid. So I gotta respect that too. You know, I never really talked to him or hang around with him, but I heard from Brad Guman that he's a great kid. So I'm happy for him.
What would you like to see him? Who would you like to see him in with next? He's making a splash at 147.
Well, look, he's a world champion, so man, you know, there's so many fights out there for him, man. He doesn't have to look at unification fights or anything like that. There's so many big fights out there for him. He could fight Haney. He could fight, Teofimo. I don't know. You know, there's so many fights out there. Plus, he's with PBC, so PBC has a lot of big fights out there for him too.
For that fight night, we were in the Top Rank headquarters with Bob Arum and the crew. They hosted us. We watched the fight with Fight Hub and Top Rank. One thing that stuck out with me, Bob Arum was particularly disgusted with the actions or with the way that the fight with Devin Haney went. Just basically saying that these guys don't want to fight.
They don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. The old man's not wrong. For all the horrible things that Bob Arum is, the motherfucker knows what he's looking at. He's been looking at it for 100 years. Turkey should have paid the refs more to apply pressure. Facts.
The other day when I interviewed him, saying basically they just want to take from the sport that they're not really there to give anything back. What was your thoughts on that?
It's true, 100% true. Look, the commentators during the fight, obviously I was there live, but everybody on the phone tells me that the commentators were not saying nothing good about Haney either. So it's just one of those performances where the boxing fans are not happy with that performance, and then they come out trying to excuse themselves, we still send them to the hospital. That's bullshit. That is bullshit.
What about Teofimo Lopez? The only guy that everybody said that he looked better. He looked good. He kind of looked more like himself. What do you think about Teofimo?
Yeah, I think Teofimo had a good. I think he had a good performance. Barbosa, I think should have tried a little bit more, a little bit harder, just to go out there and, man, so what if you get hurt or if you get knocked out? Just go out there and give it your best. You know, that's the way sometimes we think as Mexicans. You know, the heart and this and that. But I think Teofimo looked good. He looked, he was boxing good, landing good punches, counter punching good. I think Teofimo looked good. I think Teofimo has a bright future. He's a great fighter. So I think he's got big fights coming up for him.
And even with that, Bob Arum said afterward, he looked good tonight, whatever it was. He's still a huge underdog in my eyes versus Boots Ennis.
I believe so too. Boots Ennis is a solid guy at 147, and if they do that fight, it's a very dangerous fight for him. But
everybody got Boots on their mind right now. So there's that. A lot of funny videos of just the fights sped up, everybody running around. Canelo don't want to hear about dude's name no more. He wants to move on to Crawford. But again, a shit weekend of boxing. Salute to the MMA fighters that did their thing. Hopefully I can catch the replays of those fights in the coming days. I was on the move. Shout out Primo Turkey. If you're watching this, hire me for some matchmaking. I'll take 2 oil wells as payment, motherfucker. Here's the thing, the matchmaking is good. They're making the good matches. It's not like these guys' styles is what's canceling each other out. It's just motherfuckers is eating too good. All right? Hopefully they get it all figured out because that shit was horrible. That's my take on the weekend of boxing. It was horrible. I told y'all on Friday night when I spoke to y'all, I watched those fights standing up and fell asleep 3 times. So that just tells you how bad that was. And the next night, Doc Canelo and School were going to save the day, and same old shit show. But we'll see what the talk is like in the coming days, and we'll pay attention to it. All right. But I'm hoping to push more MMA to people for the downtime between boxing, so y'all can learn to love the sport, because the excitement is a different level, more consistent. We have our shit show fights too, and we talk about it. You know what I mean? But salute Robert Garcia. All the fighters, they sitting up. None of them, nobody concussed. Everybody's face is feeling good. Ambulance ain't had nothing to do. Everybody was gravy, baby. So it is what it is. Just another day in the combat sports game. All right? Salutes to y'all. Hunter's up in the chat for y'all for hanging out with me tonight. We've been here 3 hours. I wasn't going to do a stream. Thought popped up. I missed y'all and said, let's get it. So we here now. All right? Let me end this recording. Let's do that. Hope that don't hurt nothing. And let me run through the chat, man. And say peace out to y'all before I get out of here. And I'm going to, right now, start organizing. I'm doing a lot of things behind the scene. I want to keep evolving the situation here and trying to fine-tune things. So, sometimes I'll be here, sometimes I won't. We'll see. I'm looking to keep Friday Night Lives consistent, but you could expect me hopefully Wednesday. If you don't hear from me, we're on. If you hear from me, it's for me to let you know that I need the day off so that I can figure some other stuff out. There's a lot of stuff to work on. Let me run through the chat. Earlier, I saw 298 in here. I saw Shannon was first. Zoraida was second. 298 was up in here. Young Jizzle was up in here. So salutes to them. Let's get through here. Shout out Shannon, Fernando. My brother Oso was in the building. Chat been on fire today because I can only go up so far on this chat. Shout out Pure Art. Shout out Primo. Fernando, Velez, Jose Amado, Ed the Hip Hop Guru, Zoraida. Shout out Ralphie. Shout out Pooh. Raven Jefferson. Shout out Sally Correa. Shout out JP. Salutes, humbly speaking, motherfucker. Shout out Vernon Himes. Shout out Zamora. Let's see. Al the Pal, appreciate you. HG. Upper Echelon. Chucky needs to throw all the money on him fighting, but Benavidez, he got to put him on the spot like he did with Crawford. Yep. Shout out Karen. Your vid sucks. Salutes. Hit the like button if you have yet to do so, y'all. Shout out Pop out of Stoner. Bow. Be safe, y'all. Salutes Popeye. Shout out JP. Another great live. Salute. Shout out Il Mahiga, Il Cartel members. Chat, like, and subscribe to the great quality content. Road to the 100,000 24-hour live stream, all right? 24-hour live stream at 100K. Don't believe JP's what they call anecdotes. Have a great night. God bless y'all. Hasta mañana. Hasta la pasta. So that's it. Sally Correa, I didn't see you were in here. Hope all is well. Blessings. Boom. Salutes to you, Zoraida. We appreciate you. Salutes Jacqueline. Jacqueline was up in here earlier too. That's pretty much it, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out. And I will catch y'all Wednesday. If I don't catch you Wednesday, I'll catch you Friday. Either way, there will be stuff dropping throughout the week, but I just want to make a lot of changes, so I'm going to need a lot of time. All right? It's a hard thing to juggle. I thought we were doing a cop or a body cam video. Nah, not tonight, sir. We did the fight stuff over here rather than switch over. Wednesday, we could pick up on some body cam stuff. Make sure you follow the body cam channel, y'all. It's called Ill Crimes. And y'all can catch me over there, too. Speaking it into existence to the live stream gods. Okay. So when I when it doesn't happen, speak into existence the 100K 24-hour stream. Speak that one into existence. I think that one's better. I'd like that one quicker. If we could hit 100K quicker than we hit 10K, oh, that would be a beautiful thing. All right, so put that into positive affirmations. Put that in a fucking envelope and tape it to your wall, all right? Y'all have a great night. It's been a pleasure. Salutes. With that being said, I will holler. Peace.